family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program, folks. Wanted to come in real chill here with one of Eddie Bader's favorites of mine. We both need to be a little cheered up in a chill way today.
I'm working on it.
How you doing?
Had a great breakfast. Had a Belgian waffle.
A Belgian waffle?
I think that's the first time I ever had one that didn't come out of the toaster.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Belgian waffles are all right when we get the syrup and the little, like, the imprints and the webbing.
They put some kind of
So
fruit
good.
thing instead of a syrup.
Yeah.
Dude, it was the bomb.
Like a compote?
We'll go with that. And then I had what they called miracle bacon or something, but it was just really fancy.
Oh, I know
nice.
where you went now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that place is just
Yeah.
tasty. Very tasty. So tonight
Oh, yeah.
is the State of the Union.
You excited by this?
Excited's not the word. I mean, I will tune in just to see the spectacle. It'll be interesting to see how many people actually watch it live. I doubt not many are.
Kind of, compared to how it was how excited I was last one and this one,
Yeah, the vibe of we're going to win so much, and you're going to say, I don't want to win, and I'm stop winning. No, we're going to win. Like that, the vibe for now seems to have gone away to a certain bit. Yeah.
Although, give the man credit, we're still winning. It's just, I don't know. It's not as exciting as it was.
Well, here's what Caroline Levitt is saying in preview of
Okay.
the State of the Union speech. President Trump's State of the Union address will celebrate 250 glorious years of our nation's independence and excellence, highlighting incredible stories of American heroes throughout the speech. So, okay, that might actually be.
Okay.
I think, do not underestimate Trump. Remember, he gave, the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Rush Limbaugh in the room. Like, he will do the theatrical. Yes. He has the flair for that. In 1 year, President Trump has turned our country around, says Caroline Levitt, from the brink of disaster, and he will rightly declare the state of our union is strong, prosperous, and respected. President Trump will proudly tout his administration's many record-breaking accomplishments and also lay out an ambitious agenda to continue bringing the American dream back for working people. That's the official statement from the White House press secretary, at least.
I don't know. I would just like to see a little bit more, and I'm sure he's going to address it. I'd like to see some more pluses in the economy. Mm-hmm. It's going to trickle down to me, you, and everybody else.
I don't know. I think the United States is a lot stronger than anybody wants to say.
It's certainly better off than we were.
Because it's very easy to complain and see the problems that we have. And, I mean, that's what sells, too. Yeah. The negative thing tends to get people's attention.
This is true.
A lot more. That said, I've just started to notice more and more, and it's especially true with this new Candace Owens documentary called
Dude, I heard about this
Bride
this
of
morning.
Charlie. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know
haven't
anything
seen
about it.
I don't
except
really want
that-
to see it.
I don't know anything about it except that it's Candace Owens' production. Makes me really nervous. There's fixing to be a real serious rift in that group.
Well, guess who, by the way, will be Donald John Trump's one of his special guests tonight at the State of the Union?
Who?
Erica Kirk.
Okay, I can see that.
No, and I think that's appropriate.
Very appropriate.
But
yeah.
then you have, and there are a lot of folks who have been long hardcore. I mean, actual people getting things done in many ways, like a Chris Rufo type, who are saying, I'm going to these events, and the amount of what people are consuming right now is essentially, it might be a little more sophisticated or wink, wink, nod, nod. It might be couched in more rumor and innuendo and like, I have a feeling and all these other things. But essentially, Erica Kirk killed Charlie, and Israel probably has something to do with it. That's a sentiment that's out there.
It is. It's out there a lot stronger than I ever thought it would be, man.
But it's not just that camp. But I think Candace Owens is the exemplar of, she's embracing the spirit of the crowd. She's embracing what gets attention. And you know what? I've been doing this gig for a while now. I admit we're kind of on a sinking ship of old traditional media. Fair enough. I appreciate everybody who does listen. Here in the local community, especially. That said, I've even seen in these airwaves, there are folks that understand how to prick the crowd.
Certainly.
Do they actually believe
Nope.
what
Most
they're
of the time,
saying?
no.
Probably not.
Most of the time, no.
But it plays.
Of course.
And if you ride the wave of where the crowd's mind is going, which is the crowd, the mob is a fickle beast, it plays, baby. You get attention. You get a lot of like people like on your team, and you get a lot of folks that cannot stand you.
Yeah.
And I think Candace Owens is one of the best at that game.
She embraces her haters, man.
And I will say this, what's the spirit of our age? You know, in the old school terms, like you've heard of like the devil, right? You've heard of like Beelzebub, right?
Yeah.
You've heard of like Lucifer.
Yeah.
And
Don't go to church on Sundays, the devil gets you. I see the sign. up
yeah,
on the roof.
it's a great sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, and even if you go to church, the devil might get you.
Yeah. This is true.
Right. It could happen anywhere. Like how many times is the preacher man?
Who gotten by the devil? Mm-hmm. Several. Mm-hmm.
But so you've heard of the devil, right? And what are some other names? Like, well, there are two classic names for the devil: the accuser and the scatterer.
Oh.
So you accuse, and it's in, I think, the oldest book of the Bible, which is the book of Job, is the Satan is the one who accuses Job. That Job will not have faith in you, God, if everything is taken away from him.
Right.
And this is always the accusation. Well, no, the serpent in the garden, he accuses God of saying, he's not telling the truth. You won't die. You'll become like gods. You'll become like him. And they don't die immediately. They do eventually. The wages of sin are death.
Right.
And then the scatterer of like one of the demons Jesus drives out. What does the demon say? Is we are legion. It's often a split mind, a split personality. It is even within like the demonic, there's this split division. Like it can't contain itself. It is not at peace with itself. It has no coherence. And you see, I think in our modern media especially, and there are exemplars of this tactic like Candace Owens. I would pray that she stops doing that. But whatever. People can listen to what they want. People can say what they want. It's a free country.
That's right. That's right.
But it's not just her. I think it's what is incentivized in this age to be the accuser and the scatterer, to divide and divvy up, not to any particular end, not a yes or no, not a right or wrong, not a heaven or hell, but just division into all sorts of little enclaves and pockets where people aren't talking to one another. And in fact, we've talked about this, for years? Mm-hmm. And not just us, that people are looking at the same screens, but they're not watching the same movie.
Right.
And even if you can get them to look at the same exact event, and occasionally you get this, people still don't have the same takeaways from it. But it's gotten even worse, so now you can curate your life to where you only see what you want to see.
Oh, yeah.
And what you are also fed and led to believe what you want to see. And then think of the accuser part. It's one thing to have a justified, righteous accusation of somebody and you prove it. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But just to accuse, to lead somebody astray.
Ooh,
Just to accuse, to lead somebody down a rabbit hole. How much is that in our society today?
Oh, we used to call those people and still do the pot stirrers.
Yeah, the gossipers.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what is rewarded. And again, Candace is one of the best at it.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Like, it does hurt my heart. The more I look at this stuff, don't get me wrong, there's amazing, glorious things going on, like the USA hockey team winning. Both men and women are freaking awesome, beating the Canadians. Like, there's great stuff in this world, don't get me wrong. I'm more focusing on particular the politics of the moment. The spirit of the age is that of the accuser and the scatterer.
Do you believe Candace is a true believer of this or more of a teller?
No, I don't think she's a true believer in this. I hope. I'll put it this way. I think she's a true disbeliever.
Okay.
She's probably sitting in a position like, I don't believe what they're saying.
Okay.
Like, she maybe genuinely thinks that. But that's not a great spot to be. I've been in that position myself.
Tough spot.
Where you just disbelieve, you don't trust anything. Well, what do you end up with? Nothing begets nothing.
Spite.
Right. Resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Suspicion. Like, you become double-minded. You're tossed like the waves in the wind. Kind of going, well, is this cause, or is it this the cause? Is that the cause? And it's frustrating. You could say it's the age of conspiracy, but I think it's more than conspiracy because a lot of conspiracies are true. Like, often.
Nowadays, it's more than ever.
But often, like, law enforcement arrest people and a Justice Department, a DA or an AG or whatever, they often convict people of conspiracies, real conspiracies. Most of your politics, folks, are conspiracies. Yeah. It is people literally conspiring behind the scenes in order to achieve certain ends. And sometimes you might even agree with that conspiracy. You're like, I like that J.D. Vance might be conspiring with Marco Rubio and a bunch of other powerful players to try to become the next president after Trump. But maybe you hate that.
Is that really conspiracy at that point, or is that just, hey, we're thinking about the future?
Right. So I don't think age of conspiracy is right because that's one thing.
Okay.
But no, it's almost this addiction. And it can be small things. I was talking with Sky, where that one guy wants to go back and play for the University of Alabama. Yeah. And you look at just the comment section of something like that. Of something that little. And the amount of vile accusation and just
Alabama.
Depraved character assassination of people you don't even know.
But that's so easy nowadays.
Oh, no, and it's not just, that's just one example. I wanted to pick, though, what is a fairly small example. Like, it's one thing when you're talking about, questions of war and the death penalty and all sorts of other stuff. But, is this guy eligible to come back and play some sports ball? It's like, man, I'm going to tell a bunch of people to F off this morning on Facebook. What are we doing? What are we doing?
That seems to be pretty clear. I don't understand where the fog of war of that one is, because it seems to be pretty clear.
And here's one thing I worry about, is there might be people like, oh, get over it, sunshine, get over it, cupcake.
Yeah.
And I've engaged in it myself, I'm not saying. But I noticed something as I engaged in it especially, and it happened right around the time Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is you get used to drinking that poison.
Yeah.
And you get used to spitting it.
Yep.
And I think people underestimate. People have been asking a lot, especially on their Epstein stuff, like, when are we going to do something about this? People are too comfortable. When it affects them, that's only when they'll do it. And that's the idea, folks. Be very careful of how adaptable you are to any circumstance. The classic meme of the cartoon dog in hell. It's fine. There are so many people whose lives, everything around them's on fire. They go, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. And if you try to, help them and bring some water to put out, no, don't you dare.
No, let it burn.
They almost get used to their misery. They almost get used to this sort of
chaos.
It weighs on you. It puts grooves in you. It's like you fell asleep on the carpet and you got that imprint in your face. Yeah. You're like, wow. Why'd you fall asleep on the carpet? Drunk ski again?
Passed out ski, yeah.
But that's what I worry about, is there are a lot of folks who, well, it's just the way of the world. Get over it. Toughen up. And to a certain degree, I agree.
But there are times when you
But you
say,
shouldn't
okay,
get
this
used to
isn't
that.
the way of the world, right?
You shouldn't get used to that.
Yeah.
If your conscience and your heart doesn't occasionally sting, it doesn't have to be every moment. You don't have to be like, oh, no, like every little thing. That's another opposite flaw and problem and missing the mark. But to get used to the sort of callousness that now exists, it is indeed worrisome. What am I going to do about it? I don't know. Try to do the best I can within my own circle. But there's this interesting study, and not to sound like some, somebody with the zeal of a revert or a convert.
Yeah.
To me, my immediate thought after looking at this breakdown of this study was that perhaps all those folks talk about the power of prayer. It's not just a matter of faith, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there's stuff to this world we don't completely understand.
Oh, yes, there is.
Here's, for instance, what the study is. Princeton, last year, in 2025. Princeton researchers discovered that the human brain emits ultra-low frequency electromagnetic waves that appear to form part of a global neural network. These signals can subtly influence other people's brains from as far as 10,000 kilometers away, raising the possibility that human consciousness is interconnected across the planet. This work adds to a growing body of research suggesting that our brains communicate not only through neurons, but also through delicate electromagnetic fields. Some studies indicate that these fields may help shape empathy, intuition, and even the way groups synchronize their behavior. Experiments have also hinted that when one person meditates or focuses deeply, or I would add to this, prays deeply, nearby or even distant individuals can show slight shifts in their brainwave patterns. Now, you might think again, oh, what is it? No, it is the Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory. It's been peer-reviewed. They've conducted several experiments that show the mind has a subtle capacity to influence the output of devices known as random event generators. So here's how they actually tested this. A project that initially started when a student was curious about the effects of the human mind and intention on the surrounding environment turned into a rigorous testing lab where Dr. Robert John and his lab assistant spent many hours experimenting to determine whether or not the mind has an effect on our physical world. John and his assistant were able to determine that the human mind's interactions with the machines demonstrated a relationship that was not physical in nature. The mind was able to affect and change outcomes of the machine in ways that were beyond standard deviations. In essence, consciousness was having an effect over the physical world, which is, by the way, the central claim of Christianity and theism.
Prayer,
That
man.
the logos is superior to stuff.
Yeah.
The logos, the word created everything. So how did they do this? To determine the effects of the mind's intention on the physical world. Because again, how do you, without going into literally religious texts and language, how do you, and that's what's funny. It's like, oh, wait, ideas that people have been talking about thousands of years, you might actually be finding a way to somewhat come to the same point. But
Manifestation.
so how do they do it? To determine the effects of the mind's intention on the physical world, they built several machines called a random number generator.
Mm-hmm.
The machine would essentially mimic a coin flip and record the results over time. The machine performed 200 flips per second and produced an average mean of 100, as one would expect. Left unattended, the machine would continue to produce results that suggested a 50-50 chance of producing either heads or tails. The interesting results came when human intention started to interact with the machine. What was once a random 50-50 chance of producing heads or tails began to deviate from expectations as the observer began to intend for the numbers to be higher or lower. While the effects of the mind over the machines was not large, it was enough that contemporary physics is unable to explain what exactly is happening. Perhaps this is where the quantum world can shed light. Well, good luck with the quantum stuff. But the implications of this research on humanity are fascinating, given it could reach into the realm of creating a world of peace or thriving world in abundance. Yeah, all that hippie talk.
Mind over matter.
But I would love a world of peace and abundance.
Good luck.
Yeah. But, there's little things in life. Like, you don't have to go into prayer deeply religious or, like, into the other sort of medium stuff and whatnot. Like, you ever have the feeling somebody's looking at you?
Are you kidding me? You know
Right.
me.
Right. And it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh. Or you get so in
Hairs
tune
on
with
the back of your
somebody.
neck stand up.
Right.
Yep.
You get so in tune with somebody, they don't even have to say a word. You, especially those of you who are married, you know exactly what that person is thinking.
Yep.
You see this often with twins.
Yep.
You could say, "Oh, that's just the person." I think no, there's
You
it
spend
happens
enough
with
time with
strangers
people.
too.
You do. You develop their way of thinking, their thinking process, and a lot of times y'all kind of sync together with that.
So go back to how we began this show and this conversation. What effect does it have on this connection we all have? And I really do believe more and more as each passing day that when somebody is given grace by God, it abounds to others.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be amplified in ways you wouldn't expect. And it's amazing the change it can have on people. But what effect is there on that connection we have with one another when the spirit of the age is that of the accuser and the scatterer? And it starts to make sense that we have this epidemic of loneliness, that we have this epidemic of young people not creating families, not even like people aren't even having sex. You'd think that's a built-in drive that wouldn't go away, but it is.
Losers.
Or maybe the kids have learned something.
Losers.
that strange when I was 16 wasn't exactly the most fulfilling thing in the world.
No, but it gave you something to do.
But yeah, there is something to this beyond just like the vibes, man. And be careful what you put out into the world. And be careful what you get used to. That's fine. This is just the way of things. If they're going to accuse me, I accuse them. If they're evil to me, I'll be evil back.
Or first.
Yeah, that's when it gets real bad. I'll be first to the dance.
I'll be first. Yep.
Don't you be quoting verses with the Moses. We don't need all that Confederate stuff today.
I'm just saying.
But does this make sense?
Yeah.
It's where my mind went when I started looking at the stuff today. And especially, in a way, I want to thank Donald John Trump because I see this trailer by Candace and team, The Bride of Charlie. And then I see that Trump is having Erica Kirk as his special guest tonight at the State of the Union. So I say thank you for that one, Donald. Truly. And where do we go from here? Because I notice already, not even really into his second year, he's not a lame duck by any means.
But there's people waiting.
But there's
out.
already, yes, the waiting game.
Yep. And I've heard it and I've seen it, and it kind of bothers me.
And that's always going to be on the left and in corporate America and at the Pentagon and the intelligence agencies and even the State Department. So many of these institutions of power, they exist beyond what the people want to do. Yada, yada, yada. But you started to notice there are people within the so-called right, part of that coalition that was victorious in 2024, that, well, they're ready to pick a new leader and go a different direction. So we'll see what the State of the Union brings tonight. Could be that Trump brings the House down because he does have a flair for the theatrical. He's quite good at it.
But what do you think? I mean, for his overall first good quarter here or half, what do you think he's all right? You think he's doing all right? Moving the ball?
Yeah, it's not like A's across the board by any means. I am a little trepidatious about, well, looks like Iran, we might be bombing Iran here soon.
That's going to happen.
And who knows what happens with Mexico. We'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah. Man, Cuba. I'm telling you, you're hours away at this point from Cuba.
And then, of course, Democrats, a lot of them aren't even going to the State of the Union. This is what I mean by scattered. How many times
if you were in that
I sat there and watched an Obama State of the Union?
I know, but if you were in that camp and you had the option to go,
I would go.
I would like to think I would go too, but I would also think that you get in that position, you do become so petty, especially as a Democrat. To not go is just not enough. You need to protest as well. You know, you need to do something. I'm doing something else instead of.
Again, this is what I mean by the scattering. It's like it used to be. How many times did we see through? And you started to see the nation coming apart back then too. Like, it's been a slow burn.
A lot more fake then.
Yeah, it's been a slow. But you remember the one guy when Obama was speaking?
Liar!
You lie!
To this day.
And I think actually he was correct about I think it had to do with the illegal immigrants in healthcare.
But to this day, that bothers me because, just from old fart point of view, you might not respect the person, but you respect the position, and you just that's just not something you do. And once something like that starts, it's hard to ever stop. It usually just builds on that. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the process and everything. And you just don't disrespect that.
But they're going to have like counter programming. You know how Turning Point USA had counter programming to the halftime show?
Sure.
They're going to have like counter programming to the State of the Union.
If you really wanted to have true counter protesting or counter programming to the State of the Union, you'd play Pants Off, Dance Off. Everybody would watch that.
Pants off, dance.
Dance off, pants off. I'm sorry, dance off.
Dance off, pants off. When do the pants come off? Before or after the dance?
About halfway through the song. Depends on how
halfway through the song.
Depends on how good they're dancing. Yeah. If the energy level is low, there's like a meter on there, and so they have to start taking some clothes off, and that gets the energy level back up.
Dance party.
Unless they're really ugly.
Is this going to be the rules of the Eddie Vedder dance party?
Yeah. I'm so ready for this.
I don't know if I want to follow through.
Come on, we're going to put this on the boat and rock the lake, baby.
Oh, well, we got a few ready to go for the lake. Yeah, we're going to have a good old time.
So excited.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Oh, a second. Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Sammy.
Hey, guys. Yeah, this is Sam calling from Pike County. Out here on the farm. It's a beautiful day. But just wanted to give you, Joey, talking about the physics of interconnectivity.
Mm-hmm.
At the very, very small, at the quantum level.
Ultra low frequency electromagnetic waves.
Some may say that, but at the very at the quantum level, we're all interconnected, and people will scratch their head. Everything. Well, what you have to take in consideration is the passage of time. There's been enough time, and the universe has inflated, but so at one point, every bit of matter, every bit of anything that exists in this cold universe that we have, has touched we're all connected. And so even at incredible distances.
Even almost like it emanated from a single source. It made everything.
And but there is. It's like I said, it's something that it's very, very small, beyond our comprehension probably, but it's we're all interconnected. And it's neat when you see that somebody can accept that and actually manifest a mental. So many words are coming; they're all wrong. Yeah, being able to touch someone or something, like someone about to step out in the road and then they suddenly turn and see you. You know, you're looking dead at them. That kind of. Yeah,
no, it happens all the time.
Yep.
Happens. It does happen.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I wanted to share, brother. But other than that, Trump.
You watching it tonight?
Union. Oh, absolutely, man! Did you hear the rumor going around?
Well,
Jeffrey Epstein is going to call in on a Zoom call, and he's going to hate everybody. And so,
okay, stranger things have happened.
Hello, Jeffrey. You dirty dog.
That'd be a great Saturday Night Live skit.
It would. And just, hey, I'm okay. I'm over in Israel kicking. Yeah. Lock him up, Trump. Lock him up.
Yeah, Trump said, and this is not shocking, at a White House event yesterday, it's going to be a long speech because we have so much to talk about.
You know, he likes to talk. He kind of reminds me of Fidel like that. And
Caroline Levitt said there will be some tear-jerking moments.
I'm sure there will.
Yeah, like I said, we all need. Eddie, you mentioned it earlier about the thrill isn't quite gone, but it was greatly reduced by the whole issue. That's really hurt everyone's feelings. Slowed down. Feels like we're making any progress. So hopefully this will be a good upbeat speech. I saw one with our Secretary of War, Mr. Hegseth, the other day when he went over here to Fort Campbell with the airborne man. It makes you feel good to see someone and my vocabulary is just on the crap. someone involved in. Oh yeah. Anyway, he was boots on the ground with the troops, and it sure was nice. That's all I got, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Sammy.
Yeah, not only is I think Erica Kirk going to be a guest, the Daily Wire had that as an exclusive as I was getting going right before the show, but looks like we played the clip yesterday, Carrico and I did, where Trump called to the U.S. Men's hockey team and invited them on the phone.
Such a great call.
Oh, and they were having a good old time, man.
Yeah.
Cash Patel getting a little drunk all of a sudden, too.
What they party with the
crazy.
narc for, though, man? What's up with that? He's a narc.
Come
They
on.
party with a narc for, man.
Come on, man.
I saw that last night where the people were giving him grief for partying with Cash Patel,
Yeah.
and I thought, what's wrong with Cash Patel? Then the next line, literally, they said, partying with a narc. You know he's a narc. I'm like, okay,
He's the
but
head of the FBI. What
what's
are you
he gonna
talking
tell
about?
on?
What are you talking about? He's the head of
If
the
you're
FBI.
going to do anything, that's the guy to do it with.
Yeah, come on.
You're partying with a narc.
And apparently Trump invited the women's team.
Yeah.
And they said they had other prior
Yeah, they
arrangements.
gotta
I'm
wash
like,
their hair.
you are being invited to the White House in the State of the Union. You drop your other plans unless you're having the birth of your child.
It's that's the thing in sports nowadays is you wait for the invite to the White House, and if you don't get it, you complain. If you do get it, you don't go and complain. So,
But the men are expected to attend.
dude, they're going to party.
But isn't that a breakdown of American politics? The men are there for Trump's State of the Union speech. The women are like, I need to dry my hair.
Yeah, so be it.
They said that I have scheduling issues.
Did you see my man with the busted tooth? Left his tooth on the ice, Joey. That's leaving it all on the court, buddy.
That's really leaving it out. That's an iconic photo.
Yeah, man.
And apparently, though, it's not just Trump with guests. Of course, everybody who will show up. Democratic lawmakers, the one who aren't
Ooh, yeah, you can
protesting,
bring
who
guests
will
with them
be
too,
there.
right?
They've invited several people who say they're victims of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. You know, the financier with the island?
Yeah.
And, well, there's one person, though, that Ro Khanna's going to bring that people are like, yeah, but she helped groom other girls for him. And she's now the victim?
That's,
Talk about the age of the accuser and the
Yeah,
scatter.
man,
the
that's-
Epstein thing is the dadgum
Okay.
darndest thing.
but who's playing it? And I thought about this the other day, and it came up in conversation with the Epstein thing. I thought that we in the U.S. would be much harder on the perpetrators than Britain, England would be. But you've got the King of England that's prosecuting his brother.
Oh, yeah, man.
His brother. We can't even go after people that are not even related. They just have more money than we do.
I think it's like, you got to remember how small Britain is, too.
I get that, but
How, like, tight that culture is, for better or for worse.
but it could have gone
Very
just the other
different
way, where
than-
it was a shut up
Because
hush
this
thing.
seems
and-
like this was a New York, South Florida thing. Seriously.
yeah.
Maybe you get a little bit L.A. thrown in
Oh,
there.
you got that L.A. guy that.
But this
the
is
promotional
not,
manager.
like, you better believe something like this happened in Alabama.
I heard Alabama Power's on the list.
Wait, a powerful interest group with money is being mentioned by Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Goodness
By name.
Anyway, we got to hit a break here. We've been talked long enough to open up this thing here on a Tuesday. This part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings. And did you see
Joey.
just BAMF. I haven't used that acronym in a while. BAMF.
Bam?
No, BAMF.
Oh,
BAMF. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Josh Ryder saying, I don't sell jewelry. I build heirlooms, made by hand, made with intention, made to last longer than we do. Mm-hmm. The man is a true artist. He's a little bit of a mad scientist, too, in a great way. Like when you go look at all that's required for a spa treatment or repair work or making something custom from scratch, you go back to his lab area, you're like, the artistry, the science behind this,
Mad
what a
scientist.
talented individual. And so it could be you want to do something just fun, funky, and fresh. Like you want to be silly about it. Like for Eddie Vedder's dance party. We'll go
Yes.
get like some medallions or something.
We do, but we can't get them to be too heavy because that's going
Right.
to make our necks even more sore.
Yes, right. It's already sore enough.
Yeah.
But, or it could be something very poignant. Maybe you inherited a couple pieces of jewelry and, they're not really your style, but you could combine them.
Sure could.
He's done a lot of those sorts of
Make
jobs.
something beautiful out of that.
Make something truly beautiful out of that. Or it could be you had a dream about a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
You can make it a reality.
Why not?
Y'all check out Dylan Rings today. Get by 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
Hello, this is David Ernest with Ernest Financial. And just like Ernest Financial makes lots of money for our clients, Blue Water has helped us make lots of money for our company. You cannot go wrong with advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
For many homeowners, there's untapped reserves hiding in plain sight. It's not in the savings account. It's not in the stock market. It's right under your roof. Now more than ever, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, and that equity belongs to you. It can be used to consolidate high-interest credit card debt, to pay expensive school tuition, to cover medical expenses, to invest in renovations, you name it, because that money is yours. This isn't about taking on unnecessary debt. It's about using an asset you already own to improve your financial position and your quality of life. The key is understanding your options and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The Arctic chill will gradually start to fade. Today, not quite as cold as yesterday, with a high temperature up to about 56, plenty of sunshine. Tonight's overnight low temperature a little bit more reasonable at about 37 with mostly clear skies. Wednesday, we'll say increasing clouds becoming mostly cloudy. High temperature near 70 is better. Risk of some spotty showers in the overnight hours Wednesday night. Showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, and especially Thursday night. We'll be in the mid-70s on Thursday, which will seem like a heat wave. Maybe a leftover shower or two Friday with a high 68 to 70. And sunshine returns on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CBNS Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CBNS Bank, Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is the Trump country. We live in the southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here in the studio with me.
What's up, buddy?
Now, I want to do two stories here from 1819 in this segment.
All right.
See if we got the time.
See, why not?
Let's start with one that is poignant. Montgomery police officer remembered for his courage and compassion. MPD is mourning the loss of one of its own after an unexpected medical event. Corporal David Michael Hathcock passed away on Monday, just one day after his 48th birthday. He dedicated his life to watch over the city of Montgomery and the citizens that we cherish, the police department stated. On and off duty, he honored his oath to live a life that was exemplary to all. He was courageous, calm in the face of danger, and honest in thought and deed. Hathcock joined the Montgomery Police Department in 2006, and he had stayed through all these years. The Fraternal Order of Police, Capital City Lodge, said Hathcock was a loving husband and father. His commitment to his family and to serving the citizens of Montgomery will never be forgotten. His professionalism, compassion, and service to this community made a lasting impact on everyone who had the privilege of knowing and working alongside him. The police department and loved ones are asking for prayers, and please do that, folks. Corporal David Michael Hathcock. Lift him up, and his family. There's also, if you go to 1819 News' story on this, there's a GoFundMe link to help benefit his wife, now his widow, and 2 daughters. 48. You never know. You never know when the last days are. You just never know.
You're right, brother.
But perhaps we are in the last days when I look at this story. Home of Queer Animals. University of South Alabama operates Queer Animal Research Lab.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I mean, I've had a dog or two I thought was kind of gay, but I didn't really think they were gay.
Like, you think cats are gay?
Not really.
Have you not seen the meme? Do I have gay cats?
No, cats
or
are too.
Are they just brothers?
They have the meanness of some gay people. Yes, they have that, but I don't think they're gay.
Before I jump into this, because it's just bizarre.
And Way bizarre, man.
I'm looking at like a Jack Russell Terrier, too, like looking up and sitting. No, he's sitting on the rainbow flag.
Does he have a beret on?
Maybe he's just honoring the covenant of Noah. I don't know, but like.
Make his butt itches.
Yeah. Not the keys. Not the cheese, the keys. Oh. Let's go to Soldier Boy.
What up, Soldier Boy?
Hey, shout out to the greatest hockey team, the United States gold medalist Olympic winners. Did you watch the game?
Oh, heck yeah.
No, I saw highlights. I didn't watch it live.
I got up 6:30 ready to go, dude. I was pre-gaming.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, so here's what's so sad about it is, first of all, that young kid, man, he had half his teeth in this. Did you see it, man?
Yeah, they were laying on the ice, baby.
A heck of a hit.
He left it on the ice.
But he talked to you. He said, it's proud to be an American. It's not the name that's on the back of their jersey. It's that emblem in the front. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's a true blue American right there. I said, but of course, to support it, the progressives and liberals, oh, my God, especially on that all-women show. What's it called?
The View.
The View, oh, my God. Cash Patel is a big hockey fan, okay?
Narc.
And he follows hockey, and he plays hockey himself on his off-duty time, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so he's in there drinking some brewskis with the boys and celebrating.
Yeah,
What's
singing,
wrong with that?
and not just drinking brewskis, singing, brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Like,
what would you rather have? I don't understand. What would you rather have in a leader that is enjoying and partying with you as you just had a, excuse my French, kick-ass moment?
Yeah, he's a man's man.
Right. I don't see an issue with that.
Which is a better way of saying that he's one of the boys.
He's a narc.
But here's what the problem is. but we've got a bunch of left-wing, liberal, progressive politicians that'll go down there and drink margaritas in South American countries with criminals, right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, they do that.
Van Hollen went down there. With,
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, he'll break it. He drinks with rapists and murderers. He'll drink liquor and party with them.
Right.
But man, you have a brewski and we won the gold medal. Good Lord!
By the way, also talking about picking the wrong case to fall on your sword for.
Dude, come on.
Like, there have been people who have been picked up that would have pulled at my heartstrings. Like, what? It's a grandmother has been here 25 years? Like, but that guy, that's the guy you go to bat for?
That's who they always pick, though.
I know. Hey, did you like Mr. Chicklets? Man, he was pretty cool, man. He was a great interviewer. He doesn't even care, man. He had 4 or 5 teams missing in the
Yeah,
front,
he don't care. He's a hockey guy.
Care.
Yeah, he's a hockey
That's
guy.
part of it. And he's like, I live in a country with a great dentist.
I mean, honestly, there's a great hockey podcast he was on called Spittin'
Mr.
Chicklets.
Trump was in there.
I mean, he's a great guy, hysterical.
Called Mr. Trump, and Mr. Trump talked to the team and everything.
Oh, yeah, we played that yesterday.
Here's my question is, okay, the guys are coming to the White House, okay? I like what Trump said, I'm going to have to invite the girls, because they'd call me a sexist. But guess what? The girls said they didn't plan on going.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, we just mentioned that a second ago.
Disappointing, but, oh well.
It is. It kind of. I mean, I love watching the girls. I cheered them on and everything. But
they said they had scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, they're getting their hair did.
Or academic things or whatever. It's like you're being invited to the White House in the State of the Union. What are you doing?
I would think that
Cancel
would be,
your plans.
Right. If nothing else, that would be excused absence, right?
Right. Did your mother or father die? Is the birth of a child? None of y'all look preggers to me on the eye.
Right.
Somebody having major surgery that day, just happened to be on that day.
Don't see it, man.
I mean,
it's a political thing.
I mean,
it's the state of our country. The men and women were quite divided.
Can't even celebrate being an American.
I know.
And now another American I really like was who was the guy that won for the team? He didn't get a gold. I think he got silver or bronze for the singles men's skating, ice skating. But he stood there and cheered on the lady that won the gold and everything. And he talked everything good about her in the country. I said, there's some real good freaking patriot people that are at the Olympics. Stop playing and showing people talking crap about this country on the news. I'm tired of negativity.
We love the accusations. We love the scattering. That's just, it's what it gets people going.
When's the last time we won a gold medal in freaking hockey?
1980, baby.
Yeah, 40-something years.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the call, Soldier Boy. I got to run, man. I got to hit a break.
All right, man.
See you, Soldier Boy.
This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And yes, we'll get back to Home of Queer Animals. University of South Alabama operates Queer Animal Research Lab.
Joy.
Just, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's odd. Field trip.
But again, this part of the program brought to you by Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. They can help you out with any and all of your plumbing issues. Could be you don't really have a problem other than you want nicer things.
Yes.
You ever been there?
Oh, yeah. Say you want to upgrade, like you want a sink that doesn't drip.
Yeah.
Or maybe one that, you can get that's not got a big chip or crack in it.
All right.
Or
maybe
leaking.
Maybe you've been dealing with an old, like real squat, tiny toilet.
Oh, yes, Joey.
Get one that fits a normal American size butt. Get one that is a little taller off the ground so your knees and your hips aren't bothering you.
Step all the way up to the Toto.
Maybe you want to add new accessories to the shower area.
Or safety rails.
Or maybe you want to do a tankless water heater system.
That's another great economic decision right there.
And, of course, they can help you with a major job like a massive pipe burst inside or outside your home. They can find that with minimal discomfort in your home with precision, expertise, and get the job done. So y'all check them out today. You can always go to coleplumbing.com to make an appointment or just call them direct at 279-8919. That's 334-279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
If you're tired of average meals and rush dining, come see us. Epicure and Jack's Tavern offers wet-aged steaks cut in-house, scratch-made lunches, unbeatable beer buckets, and unforgettable dinners. This is food made with pride and served with heart. We invite you to come visit soon at 2060 Downing Street in Millbrook. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. You'll taste the difference.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So let's talk about gay animals.
Sure.
Researchers at the University of South Alabama, acronym USA,
Okay.
want people to know that queer animals exist. There's an exclamation point there. It's just biology. The Comparative Cognition and Communication Lab is a program of the USA Department of Psychology promoting queerness through research on quote-unquote queer animals. Our goal is to further destigmatize queerness through communication of scientific findings of animal researchers regarding queerness in the animal kingdom. You know, I have a natural proclivity, Eddie. I think I was born this way.
Yeah.
Or I want to sleep with every woman.
Every woman?
As many women as I can.
When do you want to start?
I kind of think that would be wrong. Like, it would lead me down a road of, like, a lot of bad things.
No, I don't think so. I think you have to, for one, I don't think you'll ever complete your goal. But for two, I think by
Well, it's one of those goals, like, as many as I can. So it's like whatever number ends up.
I think you being you, after you hit your double digits after starting this, and you hit the double digit number, you're going to start feeling bad about yourself.
Well, what about the hundies? We get into the hundreds.
I
was born this way. It's a natural inclination of mine. I think it's the right way to go.
I don't think you'll make it that far before you realize.
And look at
that
the
I'm just a piece of
animals.
meat.
They're sleeping. They're doing it whenever they can.
Well, they have a different biology than we do, Joey.
It's like the song, "You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals."
I'm just telling you, you don't have that.
We're just like animals.
You don't have.
You
that
know, sometimes I have
disposition.
the desire, the natural desire to just, especially when somebody upsets me or they look weak, to devour them.
Really?
Yeah.
How would you devour them?
Not literally like cannibalism, but you know what I mean. Like, you just want to dominate somebody. It's like that person's done me wrong, and you just want to destroy them.
I try not to do that, Joey.
But the animals do it.
Yeah. Again, that's the difference. I think that God separated us from the animals. It gave us
And
that
put us
free
over
will.
Free will.
Yeah. And guilt. Or that might have just been my mom that gave me the guilt, but.
The C3PO lab operating as its own research lab at University of South Alabama also has the stated goal: understand our world and the animals we share it with just a little better. According to its public materials, the lab highlights examples of same-sex behavior, non-monogamous mating systems, and intersex traits in various animal species in the wild. Why are you in these monogamous relationships, let alone marriages? Be like the bonobos. You want to say hi to your next door neighbor? Get your private parts out.
No, that's
play with each other.
Not a
the
good
bonobos
idea.
do it.
Not a good idea.
It's completely normal.
Again, different.
It's natural.
Cultures.
Anyway, we'll get more into this because I didn't realize I would react in such a way. Because it's Wow, that's the basis
So
of
it's
this?
encouraging you because the animals do it? Animals eat their own poop.
Yeah, we literally could have just played you, the Bloodhound Gang.
Yes.
It's a great song in the 90s.
But why would you compare yourself to the animals?
Do the things that only Prince would sing about.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. But would you say that's actually a good way to live in the long run?
No, Joey.
Probably not.
It's good for a weekend, but that's about it.
But who are we to say what's good? Just go out there and follow all your natural inclinations to your heart's desire.
Or you could let people that have learned those lessons by mistake tell you don't do them. And they usually give you a pretty good example of why.
We'll get back to the C3PO lab at the University of South Alabama Queer Animals Resources.
I would have never guessed that name would be associated with any lab in the state of Alabama, period.
Well, I guess there are nerds everywhere.
I guess so.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump set to deliver his State of the Union address tonight. It comes at a critical time in his presidency. A year in, the president knows that a lot of Americans are concerned about affordability issues. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says you can count on the president looking back, recapping the year's biggest accomplishments from his standpoint, and looking ahead as well. The president has picked up some good economic news heading into tonight's address. The latest report on the U.S. consumer confidence shows some improvement this month. The persecution of Christian believers in India is surging, and the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom is taking action. The commission chairman says that there's been a spate of reports of Hindu mobs attacking Christian believers in that country. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is up by 405 points. This is SRN News.
Have you noticed losing weight is harder than it used to be? You're eating better and exercising, but the scale barely moves? The real problem isn't willpower, it's metabolic dysfunction. And standard dieting just makes it worse. PhD Weight Loss has helped thousands fix the root cause of stubborn weight. Take their free metabolic assessment at fixmyweightloss.com. Fixmyweightloss.com. It's quick, personalized, and shows why your body is resisting weight loss so you know exactly what to fix. Visit fixmyweightloss.com. That's fixmyweightloss.com.
From Lionsgate and Kingdom Story Company.
I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me, one of the most beloved songs of all time.
I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You're just going to ride off into the sunset? No more struggles or pain?
Comes the highly anticipated I Can Only Imagine 2.
God is in fire. I mean, it's beautiful.
Imagine what God can do again. I Can Only Imagine 2. Now playing. Rated PG. Parental guidance.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The Arctic chill will gradually start to fade. Today, not quite as cold as yesterday, with a high temperature up to about 56, plenty of sunshine. Tonight's overnight low temperature a little bit more reasonable at about 37 with mostly clear skies. Wednesday, we'll say increasing clouds becoming mostly cloudy. High temperature near 70 is better. Risk of some spotty showers in the overnight hours Wednesday night. Showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, and especially Thursday night. We'll be in the mid-70s on Thursday, which will seem like a heat wave. Maybe a leftover shower or two Friday with a high 68 to 70. And sunshine returns on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break from our break here, and we have to go to this call because TS wants to tell us about, what is it, Eddie? Her gay dog?
Yes, she used to own a gay dog.
Hello, TS.
Hey, are you there?
Yeah, tell us about your gay dog.
Okay, he couldn't help it. His name was RB. He was named after a bookie at the original Capital Oyster Bar on the old Southern Boulevard. And he was just more inclined, not being ugly, when dogs would get out and come sit on our fence line.
Yeah?
He was just more inclined to sit on the fence line and howl and go ooh, 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 to the male dogs that were on the fence line.
I didn't know that was part of their behavior.
He would bay at the moon whenever he saw another dude dog.
That's what I'm picking up.
But maybe it was more like an alpha wolf pack thing.
Oh, he wasn't an alpha dog. He liked boy dogs more than female dogs. I mean, he was fixed and everything. And he got so big, I called him my walking coffee table, but he preferred male dogs. That's all
If they
I'm
had
saying.
what he was missing.
Dog that big, it's good you got him fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all stop. I love you.
You stop
Love you
first.
too.
Share that.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Anyway, we'll get back to our break now. Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage should be
Got more
joining us here in a
questions.
second. I know. Well, we'll get back to this.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The Montgomery Fire Department will have 23 new firefighters next month. On Monday, MFD announced a graduation ceremony has been scheduled for a new class of 23 recruits following their 20-week rigorous training program. Their ceremony will be held Friday, March 6th at 2 p.m. inside Montgomery City Hall. A new bill moving through the Alabama legislature would change the way the Alabama Public Service Commission handles utility rates. House Bill 475 requires yearly meetings to address rates, cost trends, and other regulatory issues. The PSC has used formula rates since the 1980s, meaning energy companies haven't been required to show cause for rate increases. A woman was arrested Sunday after allegedly trying to smuggle items to an inmate at Elmore Correctional Facility. Kamala Nisha Lewis was charged with promoting prison contraband after officers caught her trying to pass contraband to inmate Jonathan Thomas during visitation. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Blue Water Broadcasting hopes you'll open your heart and lend a hand during Warm Hearts for Seniors. We're collecting much-needed supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, which provides vital home and community-based services for seniors, disabled adults, and their caregivers in Montgomery. Their mission is simple but powerful, helping seniors live active, independent lives where they can truly thrive. Here's how you can help. Donate items like cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, meal replacement shakes, exercise stretch bands, and stress balls. Drop off your donations at our sponsored locations, Riverside Chevrolet, Piggly Wiggly in Prattville, Corky's Homes, Premier Portable Buildings, Southern Metal Supply, and also at Blue Water Broadcasting Studios. Together, we can make a real difference for seniors right here in the River region. Please join us for Warm Hearts for Seniors, and let's give back to those who've given so much.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now let's go right to the phones.
All right.
And talk to Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. Madeline, how are you today?
Well, hey, good afternoon, friends.
How are you doing today, Madeline?
I'm doing good. We're busy here at Alabama Home Mortgage, which is why I'm unable to be there in person, but I am thankful for it.
Well, I'm thankful you called in, but I do miss seeing you here. There's so many things I need to talk to you about,
it.
especially, have you seen Joey's hair today?
What do you mean?
I have not. I'll have to pull you guys up.
Please do, Madeline.
On YouTube here and watch while I'm
What's wrong with my
working
hair?
We'll talk later. But
What is wrong with my hair? Looks luxurious.
It does, Joey. Luxurious. You hear that?
No
Madeline?
matter what you
Luxurious.
do with that hair, Eddie's got an opinion, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay, Madeline. Well, it was great talking to you. You call us back. With
So, where to begin? Like, well, what's keeping you so busy? How's it looking over there right now, just in terms of the business?
Yeah, well, we always talk about it, that even though it's still winter, it's cold out, that people are starting to get jockeyed into position to purchase in the spring and summer months.
Yep.
So we are already inundated with many people taking that first step to get pre-approved. And then also people taking advantage of the equity that they've accrued over the last several years with a refinance, whether that means debt consolidation or getting the funds they need to put a child through school, to do home improvements. I mean, really anything that you would like, that money is yours.
Now, how many times, though, do you have somebody who calls you up at 567-4223 and they're like, before we even say anything, I've been doing my own research. I've been using one of these online mortgage calculators. And how do you, you got to be nice to everybody, right? But, you wouldn't advise using one of these things.
No, and as we like to say, the output's only as good as the input.
Right.
And oftentimes you don't know, and it's no fault of yours, but you don't know what factors to put in there. If you go on Realtor or Zillow.com and they provide you with an estimated monthly payment, what they don't tell you until you click on the small print is that estimated monthly payment is based off of you putting 20% down.
Yep.
Ooh. So if you weren't planning on putting 20% down or unable to put 20% down and you're looking at that payment and then you call me and I quote you a payment that's higher, and they say, well, wait a minute, Realtor or Zillow said that this is my payment. And I'm like, okay, pull that back up. Click on that little button there.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what it says. Oh, I'm putting $150,000 down.
Right.
So I tell people, don't waste your time with those calculators. Give us a call, and we can run accurate numbers for you today.
And let's underline the point for veterans out there. It's one of the strongest home financing options available using the VA mortgage program. But what do you mean by one of the strongest out there? What type of things happen with a VA loan?
Yeah, so the great thing about a VA loan is it's 100% financing. So
Yes.
for those veterans looking to purchase a home, they don't have to have any money down, zero money out of pocket. On the flip side, for those veterans who already own a home and they've accrued a lot of equity, like we were just talking about, they can go up to 100% of their home's value.
Wow.
No other loan program can do that.
Yeah, most other ones cap off at 75, 80%. That's great.
That's right.
Yeah, and that can be life-changing money when you're really in a jam and you're a veteran and something happens in the family or you're just making big moves in life. Wow. I really hope more and more veterans are stopping by because there's still a lot walking around saying, well, I already used it or I don't qualify. And I think they just need to talk to you all first.
Absolutely. I tell people don't waste time thinking that you know whether or not you'll get approved. Let's talk through it together. You'd be surprised. A lot of people call us and they say, look, I feel like I'm wasting my time and yours. And come to find out in a short phone call, they're more prepared than they thought to purchase a home.
So are we leaving anything out? Is there anything kind of hot right now in this particular season you want to share with folks?
Well, we all have eyes and ears on the State of the Union tonight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we will all be tuned in to see what the president has to say about economic policy as it relates to the real estate market.
Yeah, and hopefully he's laid the groundwork in the last year, and we're going to really see flowers start to bloom out of this as spring in 2026 falls. And I'm looking forward to that speech tonight, though we'll see the theatrics, and apparently there are going to be some tear-jerking moments, all sorts of stuff going on there. But, folks, again, we've been talking...
Well, everybody needs to go ahead and get a second cup of coffee because he's not going to start till 8, and he's already warned everybody it's going to be a long one.
It'll be 9:30 before it's over, I bet.
Oh, man. Maybe 10 o'clock.
I think it'll be even later than that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Madeline. Again, folks, we've been talking to Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. Real quick, it's not just Alabama, by the way. They can help you out, folks. They're also certified to help out in Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee as well. So y'all get in touch with them today at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online real quick at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. I'm sad now. Madeline, but not
Why are you sad?
because usually you're
You're
sitting
usually
right
right
here,
here,
and then we
yeah.
continue on with like the stuff that we do, and I miss you.
I know. Next time. Don't count me out.
Okay.
Okay.
Promise.
Y'all take it from here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline. See you, hon.
Again, always appreciate Madeline Cannon.
Great person.
Alabama Home Mortgage. There is a difference.
Oh, yeah. Huge difference.
Real huge difference, especially these 1-800 things. And oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, you want to go back to the gay animals?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Oh, no. I mean, got nothing better than that.
It's the trending story at 1819 News. People are all like, they're all like, what in the world is this?
Have you ever seen a gay animal at a zoo? Then how do you
They
know?
have those at the zoo?
I don't know. I never really seen an animal that could swear it was gay.
Well, it's not just like gay. Like it could be like a transsexual animal.
What the heck is that?
They exist. Okay. So, according to Public Materials, this is from the write-up at 1819 News,
Okay.
the lab, the C3PO lab for animal queerness or whatever,
Okay.
highlights examples of same-sex behavior, non-monogamous mating systems, and intersex traits in various animal species in the wild. Dr. Heidi Lin, the lab's main researcher, also manages the C3PO lab Instagram, where she regularly posts about queerness in animals. Yes, for some folks, good follow. Lin is an associate professor, and Joan M. Sinnott is chair of psychology within the University of South Alabama's Department of Psychology. Lin also promotes intersex species, which do happen naturally in the wild, but are often cited by activists to promote the broader arguments for gender ideology and diversity. The main research page of the C3PO lab does not mention queerness or intersex. Instead, Lynn posts on its Instagram and Facebook accounts about specific cases. The research lab also links to a document of queer animal resources. The research document lists different animals and their queerness, including the homosexual interaction in bedbugs, 4 flowering plants that have been decidedly queered, cuttlefish win mates with transvestite antics, and hand-pollinating pumpkins. Huh? What are hand-pollinating pumpkins? I don't even know what that is. The first reference in the document is a book entitled Queer Ducks and Other Animals. I think that's on Eddie's bookshelf. Queer Ducks. And it's a cute little like cover here where the natural world of animal sexuality. Queer Ducks and Other Animals by Elliot Schreffer. And illustrations by Jules Zuckerberg. The book's table of contents poses riveting questions, such as, do we learn homosexuality or heterosexuality or just unlearn bisexuality? And another question in the table of contents, are dolphins just gay sharks?
No, because I've seen them. I've seen reports of them going after women too. So,
but did you miss the first question? Do we learn homosexuality or heterosexuality, or we just unlearn bisexuality?
Ooh, I don't think we unlearn. I don't know.
At a certain point, there's going to be so many categories. I think the rule's just going to be do what thou will.
But,
and it's cool as long as it's like consensual and stuff, right?
No, I don't know. No.
No, it's not cool.
I don't think. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But no. I mean, at the end of the day, we're supposed to be here to procreate, and you know, that's.
If you want to do a deep dive on all this, there's a new writer there at. He's a senior at the University of Alabama and chairman of the University of Alabama Young Americans for Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Trenton Buffenbarger. He's now writing for 1819 News. Welcome to the club, Trenton Buffenbarger. Let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad, how are you?
I'm remembering that when you see people in the news, the backdrop usually shows a very large library.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might notice that a lot of the announcers, commentators, have now gone back to what seems to be make me smarter because I'm going to wear these birth control glasses that they used to hand out in the Army back then. And it makes you look smart, and then you've got a bunch of books behind it. Maybe you don't even know that they're there. That might be a CGI, but anyway, the point being, with what I got left of me, I looked this person up, and the first thing I noticed is a young lady, birth control glasses. Now, the question up, because Eddie also asked the same question, where to follow the money, because this lab out of USA down there, who is funding this? Who's keeping it going? Why is it important? And what the hell does it have to do with bonobos and other things? Because I know a little bit more maybe than she does. On my book up here that I've actually read the books, Chimpanzee Politics, a long time ago. Mm-hmm. A lot of what she is attributing to the sexuality, particularly that I'm talking about primates, grooming, and the culture within the little clique. Mm-hmm. Grooming doesn't have anything to do with sexual attraction. It is grooming and bonding.
Sure.
Like two little guys will sit next to each other and go through the grooming. That's bonding. It doesn't have anything to do, oh, I love you, I want to kiss you on your face. So I just want to know who's funding this, because it's a bunch of hoo-ha.
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, you could follow the rabbit hole if you go to 1819 News. I'm the one who brought up the bonobos, by the way, so, you know.
It was a trick word, you know. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You look marvelous, by the way. You look marvelous these days.
You look marvelous.
Okay, tell me, what were you, please? I will not interrupt you.
No, I'm done at this point after Eddie said that.
Eddie, when are we going to go fishing, brother?
Time is coming near, man. Probably middle of March. I'm ready to go. I'll have to call in and tell Joey my arm is in a sling or cast.
I found some of my bacon tacos in my living room in the box. I got to look through that again. I would love to go. Last time I caught a king mackerel. Had to cut him in half to get him home. That's been years ago.
Nice.
3 days.
Yep.
Love you guys. Keep up the good work.
Too,
see you, Crawdad.
Now, you were saying before we even began today that you're going to expose me in some way. And then you said, "Don't worry about it." When I asked you what that was about.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You don't want to do the expose right now?
No.
When is this going to happen?
Probably when you least expect it.
Fair.
Greg's show Friday at 4:30.
Greg's show Friday at 4:30. Okay, in the afternoon. All right, that's good. Oh, by the way, a United States Senate candidate should be stopping by in about 40 minutes.
Excellent.
A little after 2 o'clock, we'll have Rodney Walker in here for the very first
cool.
time. First time meeting him, first time talking to him about his Senate campaign. Look
Excellent,
forward to
man.
it. Yeah, he's starting to ramp things up.
I've seen some of his commercials. Seems to be like a local grassroots kind of guy.
Indeed.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. You sure? What expose are you going to do here?
You have to find
Can
out.
you give me a hint? Like ballpark it?
It's about Joey.
It's not enough.
I don't know. I'm still doing my research.
Okay.
Still waiting for one last phone call to confirm what we both think is, or what we all think is true.
Oh, something about me is true?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. We're seeking the truth, Joey. That's what we do here.
Well, maybe I'm just not a dolphin, but a gay shark. Who knows? This is part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're Pest Pro Ashley and that great team ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. And you might as well get signed up for that monthly subscription model.
Oh, definitely.
Like that basic package, very reasonably cost. You're spending a lot more on your streaming services than this.
Oh, for sure. And actually, you get something out of this. You get some protection.
You don't even watch those, Netflix that
Exactly.
you pay for out the wazoo. It's crazy. But at Pest Pro, you get great service in that regard. You're not going to get those cockroaches and ants and spiders and all these other things. And of course, you can add on top of that basic package termite inspection and year-round protection.
You really want that, man.
Yes,
you really
do
want
not
that.
play with fire. It is a very, very expensive fix. If termites actually hit your property, hit your house. And you're probably not going to notice if you're not
Most
getting
of the time, you don't notice
done.
it until it's way too late.
So go ahead, get that done. Do it. 'Tis the season to get that termite inspection done.
Mm-hmm.
And again, lay down that year-round protection. But of course, they can do wildlife control if you got a little critter making a home out of your home. And when the time is right, they can do mosquito services as well. So y'all check them out today. Would you recommend them, Eddie?
100%. And by the way, yesterday was Ashley's birthday. Happy birthday, Ashley.
Well, happy birthday, Ashley.
Yeah, she's a great lady. Great lady.
Yeah, and it's not only are they great, truly, at what they do.
They're great.
It's just great folks.
Great folks. They give back to the community. They support so many community efforts. They're just really, they're the kind of people you want to do business with. 100%.
Y'all can learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell Ashley, the great team there at Pest Pro Services, that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is Johnny from Sinclair's on Bond Road. We've been in business almost 30 years.
Sinclair's East, Vaughn at Taylor.
I think if you hadn't tried us, you should give us a try. We've got a great menu, offered anything from chicken fingers, wings, salads, fajitas. At lunchtime, we do great country lunch with different vegetables and different meats every day.
Sinclair's, where you get great sandwiches and our daily meat and 3 special at lunch, to great pasta, chicken, steaks, and seafood for dinner.
Our most popular items are, we got a soup called she crab soup, which is extremely popular. We've got a bunch of pasta dishes, which people love. Mediterranean chicken is my favorite.
Sinclair's.
We do live music, light stuff on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then on Fridays and Saturdays, maybe 3-piece bands or 4-piece bands.
Come see why Sinclair's has seen lesser restaurants come and go over the years. Johnny Sullivan's Sinclair's, at the corner of Vaughn and Taylor. Find them on Facebook at Sinclair's East. Google search Sinclair's Restaurant. Sinclair's.
Hello everyone, Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Real Estate Minute. Many of the real estate laws have changed recently, and you need to know how this might affect you as a seller or a buyer. As an agent of the seller, the agent owes undivided loyalty and full confidentiality to the seller. The listing agent can recommend repair services and vendors, pricing guidelines, tips to help get your house in selling shape, and negotiate offers and counteroffers for your benefit. A facilitator, which is the new term, cannot suggest a price or counter or recommend anything. They offer very limited services. A buyer buyer agent solely represents a buyer's interest and can recommend mortgage lenders, down payment alternatives, and can suggest an offer price and write an offer. Whether you are selling or buying, you need someone in your corner that's trained to represent their clients. After training over 15,000 agents throughout the state and help create and close thousands of home sales over 4 decades, get the straight information from Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
This is Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. We're home to 7 radio stations at a rapidly expanding digital marketing platform, and we're looking for our next great sales professional. At Blue Water, you'll build customized campaigns that include radio and targeted digital marketing solutions. You'll prospect new clients, manage your own accounts, and work in a fast-paced, creative environment. Media or digital sales experience is a plus. Send your resume to jobs at bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The Arctic chill will gradually start to fade. Today, not quite as cold as yesterday, with a high temperature up to about 56, plenty of sunshine. Tonight's overnight low temperature a little bit more reasonable at about 37 with mostly clear skies. Wednesday, we'll say increasing clouds becoming mostly cloudy. High temperature near 70 is better. Risk of some spotty showers in the overnight hours Wednesday night. Showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, and especially Thursday night. We'll be in the mid-70s on Thursday, which will seem like a heat wave. Maybe a leftover shower or two Friday with a high 68 to 70. And sunshine returns on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Segment. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or sell real estate here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo has been helping buyers and sellers in the River Region real estate market for about half a century now. And at the Goodson Group, not only can they help you with buying and selling your property, but they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market. But if you don't have any experience managing a rental, call the Goodson Group. Please, it'll be a pain in your butt if you don't. So y'all check them out today. You can always learn more at thegoodsongroup.com or just give them a call direct at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor here of the program. Well, I always like it. I was told it's sort of the military upbringing, like you're on time when you're early.
Yep.
And our guest is here early, joining Eddie and I in the studio. Rodney Walker, he is a candidate to be your next United States Senator here from the great state of Alabama. Rodney, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the show today. Always good to be early, never good to be late.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Now, I always ask when I'm first meeting a candidate this same question, and it could be for city council, mayor, if I get a chance to interview someone running for president. Why do this to yourself?
Well, I'll give you the truthful answer and not a political answer. But my dad always said, son, you're crazy if you get into politics because as a businessman, nobody will do business with you. But look, it's like this. If you look on Fox News or you look at the TV channels and you see some of those yahoos that we've got elected now, if business people don't go to D.C. and Montgomery, we're not going to have any business for too long anyway.
Hear, 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 hear. Now, where do you come by, say, your political point of view? Like, I'd imagine you're pretty conservative running in the Republican Party, but how did you come by those beliefs?
Well, I would like to say that I've always been raised conservatively. I've always believed in conservative values. I believe in high morals, and as a kid, even being around my grandfather and grandmother, and being raised up, learning how to have a garden, learning how to take care of money, and working the hard life. My grandparents worked in the cotton mills when I was young, and so, we never had it easy, so they knew the value of a dollar.
Hear, hear. And I like it, too, when those values you have, it's sort of you live them, and you watch the example of the folks you're living around. It's one thing to have the academic understanding, be able to talk, but like when you've lived that life, it shows in how you, say, if you get elected to office, it shows, I'd imagine, in how you vote.
Yes, it does, and that's very important to me, what you bring up, is because I do live this life, and I am a businessman, and I know what it's like to sign the front of a paycheck so that my employees can sign the back. It's very important. People that's never been in business, they don't understand the struggles or the day-to-day hardships or what it's like to get building permits or trying to satisfy customers or just making ends meet and making your bank notes. It's in business, you can't just print money like our government operates. Right. And so I hope it shines through that people understand that.
What's your business?
Well, we have several of them. We have Walker Lands and Cattle. We sell cattle trailers. We're the #1 gooseneck trailer dealer for 13 years in a row all over the United States. We have 750 mama cows on a 3,000-acre operation in Clay County, Alabama. We own Patriot Fueling Centers. We've got 5 of those in the state. We ship fuel down the pipeline from refineries over to 6 southeastern states. And then we have a rock quarry in Wedowee. So we're very
very diverse.
Very diverse, yes.
Well, and I've been wondering for a while because, big names, like, for instance, this person who's vacated the Senate seat, Coach Tuberville, yes. It's presumed he's going to be governor just because of that big name there. Right. And often, like I've been seeing the fundraising numbers, and unless you have that celebrity or maybe you self-finance, and it seems to me like you are essentially self-financing, of course asking for donations as well, but I like this, that you're sort of this outsider who has the experience not only in business, but the means of seeing yourself through a campaign.
Well, I think that's very important. Okay, so everybody can go out and ask other people for money, and then, if they don't win, so be it. But I have a lot of friends that's given me money, and I'm very thankful to each one of them. We've put $650,000 of our own money into this. We sold a load of cattle yesterday, and half of that money went into the campaign. It's $100,000. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, then how can you ask other people to believe in you? And I absolutely am trying to show people that I fully intend to work for all the people of the state of Alabama. I don't want people to think anything bad because we're putting money into our campaign, but I feel like if you don't put any money in your own campaign, you don't deserve the job.
Well, and to me, it speaks of independence.
Yep.
Yes.
And because there's a lot of folks when you have to go ask everybody for money, people, it's not quite, I'm not as cynical to where it's just always quid pro quo, but I mean, you're beholden to folks if you're taking a bunch of money.
So you are. And so, if you take a large sum of money from PACs or from a group of people, they didn't give you that money for nothing.
Exactly right.
They expect to get something back for it. And there's no need for us to lie to ourselves. I mean, $5 million come into this race, for a candidate, that's bought and paid for.
There you go.
100%.
Now, what would you say are the top 3 issues, like the issues that you're really focusing on in this campaign that we need to do better for the state and for the nation?
So if you look on my website, I have a lot of issues. And when I go speak to people, the more time that I have to speak at night, to folks, the more issues that I can bring out. But I'll tell you some of my most important ones, and that's one thing is widening I-65 to 6 lanes all the way from the north end of the state to the south end of the state, because we have Huntsville that's, a technological global center with FBI coming, the Space Command coming. We have 25 pharmaceutical manufacturers in Huntsville. We have a lot of different things, and it's booming with distribution centers and more. But at Mobile, we have the Port of Mobile, and we have Austell Industries that is building ships. We're shipping out coal. We're shipping out lumber. We've got one of the only 4 grain elevators. That's a coastal grain elevator in the United States. There's so many things that we have in Mobile. It's like the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Cargo containers coming in and out. That's the way that you improve the gross domestic product of the whole United States, but more for Alabama. But we got to have an infrastructure to get it there. It's not going to move itself down the highway. It's got to have lanes for trucks. We're growing our manufacturing base. We're growing our population. We got to have a way to move those people. And infrastructure does not just include roads and bridges. It also includes waterways, like the Alabama River used to be navigable.
Yes.
We've got to get that back again. I'm on the board of the CUSA, Alabama River Improvement Association. It's a super goal of mine. I work hard to try to get this river dredged out, get those sandbars out of it, and then you can bring in recreation, and you can have a 9-foot waterway where you can move barges, and that's important for this economy. And that's one main thing. Another thing is that I want to bring our pharmaceutical manufacturing back to the United States. 72% of our drugs are manufactured in other countries. We've seen the coronavirus. We know that other countries can kill our population off. We've got to be, that should be our most important thing as day one. Term limits is very important to me. I believe that that the whole Constitution was arranged by working business people going to D.C. and Montgomery and serving their 2 terms and then coming back. I do state that I think Congress people should have, 12 years also, which if they had 4-year terms, it would be 3 4-year terms, and a senator would have 2 6-year terms, giving both people 12 years. And people says, oh, you can't do that. Nobody will ever pass it. You can if you grandfather the people in that's there. And if they've been there for 40 or 50 years, once they're gone, the next person that comes in, they have to abide by the new term limits. I think that's the only way you'll get that passed. But then you would see people that would step down and say, well, I think it's time for other people to do it. And then everybody would get to be the chairman, or everybody would get to be on all the committees,
Right, instead of them building these little fiefdoms of the donation networks and all the dollars. And I like, just to give back what you've just given me, infrastructure, widening 65, connecting and making sure we're connecting from north to south of this state, also bringing back manufacturing, in particular pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Definitely.
And if I might give you a few more.
Sure, please.
In the state of Alabama, 2,198,000 acres of our agriculture and timberland is owned by foreign entities. Now, if you don't believe me, take your time and check the USDA Foreign Owned Entity website. Then I would like for you to cross-reference that with the Oil and Gas Board. You're going to find out that most of that property is in South Alabama, where we have crude oil. I don't know if everybody knows that we have crude oil up under Covington, Crenshaw, Conecuh counties, Escambia. We're very rich in crude oil. When the good Lord made our land here in Alabama, it's got a vast majority of minerals and everything. And agriculture is a $77.3 billion business in the state of Alabama. And so we've got to make sure that we can keep feeding ourselves. That's an important issue, too.
Why do you think we haven't, over our history, exploited some of that crude oil?
Well, so, years ago, there are wells that have been drilled, and you can find those on the oil and gas website. Most of those wells are like 1,000 or 1,200 foot deep. So it's just like a water table. You pump it down to that level. They say, oh, it's a dry well. Yeah, it's dry to that level. You got to, I don't know if y'all watch Landman or anything, but, lots of things about that are true. Punch the hole on down and pump it out. That's what you got to do.
That's exactly right.
You can't, in the old days, 1,000 foot might have been a lot. Now 6,000 or 10,000
Right.
foot's where you need to go, and
Yep.
and you'll be pumping out oil. Believe it or not, we have refineries in Alabama. We got one at Saraland, and then we have Hunt Brothers has one in Manville, Alabama.
Well, so far, Rodney, and again, folks are talking to Rodney Walker. He is running for United States Senate. Once your vote in this upcoming primary, I guess that's May. I forget the exact
19th.
May 19th.
Okay.
I'm really appreciating, Rodney, the practical detail that you're throwing up here. It's not just, we need better infrastructure and all. Like, you have really studied this. You really know this. If you get to Washington, what committees would you want to pursue in order to see this through?
Well, I would like to certainly be on the ones that Coach Tuberville is on now, which is the Senate Ag Committee, and he's on the Armed Services Committee. Of course, I'd love to be on the Appropriations Committee because, we've got to balance our budget. We need business people on that committee that knows how to spend money and not do it on all pork barrel projects. Not to beat a dead horse, but I do like the issues. They're very important to me. I think they resonate with all the people. We have we got to worry about in Mobile, the I-10 project. It starts up to a bridge and stops. It's not funded. The Corps of Engineers has still got to fund the turntable at the end of Mobile Bay. Do you know we can take ships up through the 50-foot channel that just got completed? But we can't turn them around, so they have to push them back out. There's a lot of things. I don't talk about my conservative score. I don't talk about what I've done or prosecuted or anything. What I do is let's talk about the real things that the real people in Alabama need and want to see done, and that's me.
So, like, when you focus in on the Alabama farmer, like, what can be done to help them out?
So I would thank you for that question. So the cattle farmers right now, we're doing good. The problem is that the herds have all been, sold, and kids want to come to town and leave the farm, and get away. So you've lost so many numbers in cows, and that's the reason that cattle prices are high. But at this point, I really want everybody to understand that, yes, we're selling cattle for $3.50 a pound. That is not the price in the grocery store. The cattleman is not getting $25 a pound for beef. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't need Argentinian beef. We don't need hoof and mouth disease coming here. We don't need that tick coming over here. We've got to protect our borders on our food supply. But also, to answer your question, corn is like $4.38 a bushel today. Soybeans way down, cotton 61 cents a pound. Generational farmers are just going out of business every day. They don't want a handout, but they want a fair share. The way that the market is set up is that everything is traded on the Commodity Exchange Board through Chicago. That was set up years and years ago. But basically, you've got hedge funds that are controlling the price that farmers get. And so $4.38 for corn, you can't even put it in the ground and put the fertilizer. Do you know that's the cheapest it's been since 1974? And at that time, a combine cost $100,000, and now a combine costs $1.5 million.
What's driven down the price of corn that much?
The tariffs and our trading partners and other countries. I know when the senators and different people used to go overseas and work and help bring other markets. It can't all be on the president. One person or the trade committee cannot do all of it. You got to have people that works and gets out there. And I want to go to other countries and try to open up those trade agreements with people again and get the prices back up. But, most people think, that doesn't concern me how much corn is.
No, yes, it does.
It does.
Yes, it does.
If we can't eat, if we can't feed ourselves, we'll become a third world country in no time. Zimbabwe in South Africa, I've been there. You would look in the drainage ditch on the sidewalk, and there'd be $1 million bill laying there, useless. Nobody'd even pick it up. It's so useless. And farms are very important. But farmers just want to be able to compete on an equal scale. They don't want anybody to give them any money. They just want the opportunity to compete. And we could go off into the subject about suicide rates of farmers and all that type of thing. But we've got to make sure our farmers survive.
It sounds like you're a fan of the Trump's approach with the tariffs, and you want to continue down that road.
So tariffs are a good thing. They're a marketing tool that must be used, and we have to protect our industries and our farmers in the United States. But sometimes things have to be tweaked just a little bit because China's always been one of our largest buyers of soybean products. This year, when the tariff went on car parts and things, they retaliated against us. They bought 0 soybeans. That's a big problem. Sometimes you have to tweak things. And look, the Congress and the Senate is going to have to take up and make some of these tariffs into laws. You just saw the Supreme Court said that the president couldn't do that. Well, let's get to it, guys and girls. Let's get it passed, and help our president with the things.
Hear, 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 hear. And again, folks, we're talking to Rodney Walker. Rodney, if folks are listening and they like what they're hearing, want to support your campaign in some way, how can they do so?
So, man, we would love that. We would appreciate it. No contribution is too small and none is too big.
Yes, sir.
But in other words, they can go to walkerforalabama.com and you can read all about me up there. And if you like, you can choose the donate button and you can choose to give anywhere from $1 to whatever that you'd like. The maximum federal campaign per individual is $10,500. It's $3,500 per race, primary, runoff, and then the general election.
Now, I'm looking at headlines over this last week that Trump's thinking about a strike on Iran. And with any given foreign policy action, especially being in the United States Senate, this will be, even if you're not on these particular committees, it's, I think, a solemn kind of profound duty, questions of war and peace. But every particular situation, you have to look at the details, obviously. So I more want to ask about your general sense of America's role in the world, how we should use our military, how we should go about making sure that this century is just as great as the last one.
So thank you for asking that. One thing that's important is that all young people that I see, it's very important to them 2 things. One is our national debt, and one is, Rodney, how do you support us sending money overseas? I think that we have to really worry about our own country, our roads, our people. We shouldn't have anybody homeless. I mean, we have housing projects, different things. We should not have anybody, especially not a veteran, that's homeless and sleeping under a bridge. That just should not be. That goes into, we might have to reestablish mental health that we got rid of. We can talk about that in a minute. But America can't always be the police of the world. It's like though we have been placed in that position where that everything that happens, we are the police of the world. And, another thing is that when we establish something like we were supposed to get rid of all of Iran's nuclear weapons several years ago, now here we are dealing with that situation again. When we commit to something, let's take care of it, and not have to go back another 5 or 10 years later and do the same thing over and over and over. But let me say this: I am really America first, and America's first on spending money and that type of thing. Stop sending so much money overseas. If we do have to protect the region and protect those ships, and those passageways for crude oil and different things, but we don't have to always be the lead dog on spending the money.
Hear, hear. Because my sense of, say, like the Trump doctrine, Trump foreign policy, he's almost split the difference between your classic sort of Bush neoconservative, very aggressive foreign policy, and then the full like Ron Paul non-interventionist. He sort of hit this middle road of we're not going to get entrenched in these big campaigns where you get slogged down into them, and you have this mission creep like Afghanistan and Iraq, miserable examples. But he is willing to use American power for American interests, and it sounds like you agree in that regard.
Yes, I do. And one thing that's also important is President Trump is going to be there for 2 more years, this Senate seat selected for the next 6 years and hopefully for 12, you've got to have business people and people that can think on their own 2 feet to take over after he, is finished with his legacy and be able to continue on to help America and to make our whole nation great again and keep it great,
Hear, hear.
And so I think it's very important that people realize that they need to vote for a person that can make that happen and not just be someone that follows. I'm a leader and not really a follower.
Now, I was over the moon. I'm a Doge guy, and I'm a little disappointed they kind of leashed Doge. Like Scott Bessent went out there. Oh, we'll handle the deficit through growth. And we'll cut a little bit, but we'll do growth, and that'll be the secret sauce of reducing the debt. I don't see it. I wanted to do the wrecking ball Javier Milei sort of approach, but I mean, when you talk about the debt and the deficit, yearly deficit, what would be your approach? There's a lot of different ways out there to maybe solve this thing.
Well, you've hit a nail on the head. I'm a Doge man too, because in other words, let's cut it. Let's get rid of the trash and the things that just built up all these years and oh, it's September 30th and we just got to spend this money or we'll lose it. We got to take let's do away with that. If you have your budget, if you didn't spend your money, let's turn it back in. But next year, let's not penalize the person for doing that. Let's let them go back with their same budgets. Let's incentivize them operating without just blowing money. But here's my thing that I want to say. When we cut the money like the Doge and we save those billions and billions, let's put it on the national debt, because it's $38 trillion today and it is running away. And also all the money from the tariffs and everything. Let's pay down our debt. Let's our grandkids and our great grandkids. We can't just kick this ball down the field and let them worry about it. We need to take control today.
You're here. Now, what do you make of, because right now it's a market structure bill seems stuck with different interests competing over what exactly will be cryptocurrency and things like Bitcoin's place in the world. I mean, what is your just general sense of these? There's a lot of details of this, but what's your general sense of that new technology?
So maybe I have the same opinion as a lot of people and maybe I don't, but I'm just going to give it to you.
Sure.
I believe our system is based on gold. It's always been based on gold, and for 250 years. And we have gold that's backing our currency and everything. I very much believe in the American dollar. I am not a fan of the New World Order, where we basically spread our debt out to more countries. And I'm going to give it to you like this. I do not believe that we ought to go to cryptocurrency. I think that our government is supposed to be based, and the Republican Party is about less government, and here we go with cryptocurrency to be more in your business. We can't even go buy Coca-Cola without the government knowing what we spend that on. I'm a fan of cash. I pay my tax, I pay what I'm supposed to, but I'm a fan of cash, and I'm a fan of the government not being in my business. And I'm against cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency is the person that group is the one that put $5 million into this U.S. Senate race in Alabama. They are spending money all across the nation, and they intend to control the new money system. I'm not a fan. I mean, the Bible talks about the mark of the beast, and the Bible talks about digital currency and that type of thing. And I'm going to stand before you and say I'm not for that.
No, I appreciate your straight up honesty on that. I think you and I have a slight disagreement in the sense I see it as like imperfect choice between the current fiat system where the big banks are sort of the middlemen to create new money, as opposed to we could have a digital system, especially with Bitcoin, that is essentially, I'm sure you've heard people say Bitcoin's like digital gold, that it has the salability over time that gold has, but then it has the sort of salability over space in the way that fiat has, and that I would go with the new technology as almost a way to rein in the current folks that are running and already in all our business with all our transactions, unless you use cash.
Yes, sir.
But that's just, I appreciate your honesty, and we got like a minute left here, so you have time to do another segment here?
Shoot, yeah.
Cool.
Very good. And folks, again, we're talking to Rodney Walker, and liking this conversation so far, sir.
Thank you.
Before we hit this top of the hour break, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. So if you're a man and you just don't feel like one. Like, you just feel wiped out, like, when you wake up in the morning. That's not a good place to be. Or you're seeing that waistline creep and loss of muscle mass, maybe confidence in the bedroom starting to slip. It's just confidence across the board starting to slip. You know, for a lot of guys, they think they're kind of alone in this, or they can't talk about it, whether it be ED or low performance in the bedroom or just a general malaise of low testosterone. Well, at Montgomery Men's Health, powered by Men's Pro, they are ready to help you out. It's in-person care, tailored solutions, personalized treatment plans. It's not those fly-by-night online pill companies that are just throwing whatever at you. They get labs done quickly with urology-backed medicine. And a lot of men have gone in there thinking, I'm kaput, there's nothing that's going to solve this. And they have so many options for you gentlemen out there. So get your confidence back in life in general. Get back to work in the gym and the bedroom. Give them a call, 440-3663 to make an appointment. That's 334-440-3663. Or book online in under 30 seconds at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. That's Montgomery Men's Health for every man in every season of life. We'll be right back with more with Rodney Walker.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump delivering the State of the Union address tonight. The White House says you can expect the president to recap his successes from the past year, the first year of his second term in office, especially when it comes to the economy and the other main focuses the president has had. He'll also anticipate the future. And White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president will also be making a strong case that Republicans should hold on to their majorities in Congress if they want to accomplish the president's agenda, and they'll do a lot better than Democrats in that regard. The president has a chance to make a case for his foreign policy efforts as well, and there are a lot of uneasy feelings among many Americans at this time. However, the president says that he is brokering a fragile ceasefire deal in Gaza and that his Board of Peace will transform that region. This is SRN News.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. A lot of us are thinking about taxes, home projects we've been putting off, ways to get ahead financially in 2026. Now's the perfect time to talk to my friends at Fellowship Home Loans. If you want to lower your mortgage payment, they can help you refinance. If you need access to cash for home improvements or to wipe out high-interest debt, their fixed-rate line of credit is one of the best tools out there. Fast approval, predictable rate, and flexibility to use your home's equity wisely. Remember, many people still qualify to skip their next 2 mortgage payments. Imagine starting big projects or paying down debt with 2 months of breathing room. My family and I have used Fellowship personally. I trust these guys. Take control of 2026. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE. That's 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The Arctic chill will gradually start to fade. Today, not quite as cold as yesterday, with a high temperature up to about 56, plenty of sunshine. Tonight's overnight low temperature a little bit more reasonable at about 37 with mostly clear skies. Wednesday, we'll say increasing clouds becoming mostly cloudy. High temperature near 70 is better. Risk of some spotty showers in the overnight hours Wednesday night. Showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, and especially Thursday night. We'll be in the mid-70s on Thursday, which will seem like a heat wave. Maybe a leftover shower or two Friday with a high 68 to 70. And sunshine returns on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASC, we're more than a credit union. We're your neighbors. We live here, grow here, and deeply care about this community. That's why we created ASE Cares, to give back, stay connected, and support the people who make this place home. Because when our community thrives, we all do. ASE Cares, federally insured by NCUA.
1819 News.
Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall says he's joining 19 other attorneys general in sending a letter to the American Medical Association. The AGs are urging the AMA to stop endorsing hormonal gender transition treatments for minors. The letter was sent out this past Monday, with the state praising the AMA for recently coming out in opposition to surgical gender transition procedures for children. But the AGs also argue that the evidence is very sparse when it comes to promoting puberty blockers as well as cross-sex hormones. The AGs warned the AMA that they could face consumer protection scrutiny if they mislead families or medical providers about the safety and effectiveness of this form of treatment. The AGs also requested detailed answers about the AMA's recommendations for hormone sex change procedures for minors. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A Mobile man is going to be the first person who faces a trial with a new state law applied that provides enhanced charges for crimes conducted as part of a gang or criminal organization. Jury selection got underway this past Monday in the case against Marcus Cobbs. Cobbs is facing marijuana trafficking charges conducted as part of gang activity. He was arrested in 2024. The gang enhancement law was passed by the state legislature in 2023. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If you've ever wanted to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and didn't know where to start, Janney King Gulf Coast has already built a foundation for you. With guaranteed initial customers, hands-on training, and ongoing local support, you'll never feel like you're doing it alone, because you won't be. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn their dreams into real successful businesses. Take the next step. Discover a business built for you at JanneyKingCleans.com.
A new year brings new opportunities, and right now the market is starting to shift.
Interest rates are beginning to come down, which means more buying power and more options for buyers who've been waiting.
If you're thinking about buying a home, this could be the moment to take that next step.
And whether you're buying, selling, or investing, having experience on your side matters more than ever.
At Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, we're also growing our team.
If you're an experienced agent ready to make a difference in this market and want to be part of a team that values knowledge, support, and results, call Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, where opportunity meets experience.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Here in the studio, and so is Rodney Walker, candidate for United States Senate. So there, like we were saying off air, Rodney, there's so many different issues under the sun right now. So I want to jump in real quick on the immigration issue. And I mean, I think one thing that is inarguable is that the success of Trump on the border and sealing the border. But as far as deportations, how we go about this, where are you at on this issue?
So definitely under the Biden administration, the gates was open. People was just walking in left and right. Hotel rooms being provided, debit cards being provided, just all kind of senseless things that I believe that every single American, no matter what party that they're in, would say that, Lord, we had to get that stopped and everything, because it was taken away from everybody. So then once we move past that, and we have people that come here on visas, and you got H-2A, and then you got H-1B and so forth. But one thing that I feel very strongly about is we have Social Security offices in every county, every state. Those offices, in my opinion, should become taxpayer identification offices, because as a person comes here on a visa or anything else, they should go their first stop to be to the taxpayer ID office and get a taxpayer ID number where they have to pay tax just like we do, which also pays Medicare, that helps our hospitals and things. And then everybody's contributing. That's the main thing. Is it's not fair if part of us are contributing and the other part are not. Everybody should be on an equal playing field. If you're going to be in the contracting business, you ought to have to pay a workers' comp. Everything ought to be the same. So that's my big thing, is if everybody pays tax just like I have to, it makes it even, and I'm all for that 100%.
And that might help clean up some of what is clear, the identity theft.
Yes.
Some people taking others' social security numbers.
Big time.
Yes. Those offices are already staffed. They're already, they have typewriters, computers, they have telephones, they have desks and everything. It's real easy just to add that bilateral office together and that would just work great if you ask me. Again, Medicare, everything, money would come out. We need to stop, other people like sending their money overseas or back home or whatever. Yeah. After you contribute equally to our society, then it's fine for you to do whatever that you want to with your other money.
Now, before we move on from this issue, are you happy with the rate of deportation? Would you like to see more? I think it's a little over 2 million if you include the self-deportation.
I think that I think that it's going as fast as it can. If somebody is here, if they was let out of a Venezuelan prison, or if they're a building prisoner, if they're a rapist or murderer, or if they've committed crimes, then they ought to go back quickly. And I think that your judges should have the power to, bring those people before justice and send those back. The other people that might be working, that have been working for 20 years or something like that, then they're actually contributing to our society, and they're worthwhile people. And I just say that I'm very thankful for every working person that we have in the state, and I think that the deportations are moving along fine.
Now, on another issue that's big right now, and I'm sure it'll be mentioned at the State of the Union tonight, is this race for AI. We can't not do it because the Chinese might beat us, and this is a bigger race than for the bomb. But it also brings up a lot of questions about what does it do to our local communities with data centers, and how will this investment actually be felt by the American worker, I suppose, is the question. And so how do you square this AI issue?
So AI, again, is about 50-50. There's got to be a lot of regulation put in place, with the whole situation. It goes like, basically, we've got to make sure that our kids don't get in a place that they don't need to be. As far as your question about data centers and so forth, we've all been speaking in Alabama and across the Southeast. Data centers are not really what's wanted, and a man enlightened me the other night, as soon as you get that built, the technology is almost expired. It takes a huge amount of electricity from our grid to operate that, which we don't have. It takes a huge amount of water. It takes a lot of agricultural land, because I tell you, they don't go out in forest and put them up. They go out in cow pastures, or they go out in cornfields and that type of thing. Everybody's against data centers, and I don't really see a lot of good reason or whatever. They do not employ a lot of people. Right. They're just basically computers sitting there heating up space and swapping molecules.
Right, and maybe Elon Musk can figure out the whole satellites doing these things, but I think it's loud and clear from especially a lot of the everyday American is like, what good does this do for me? And yet it does seem like we are in the middle of something that's kind of an astounding technological change. And I told you off air, I'm a little torn on, is it going to be for the good to where you see all these improvements in people's lives, or is it going to take us to a place that is quite disturbing? I'll just put it this way, is the beast being built before our eyes?
Yes, sir. And that's possible. And all that, we just have to work together and come up with the right solutions for that and determine what is right for ourselves, for our kids, and for our grandkids.
Now, the other day I wrote just kind of a general piece, things to look out for Alabama politics in 2026, and one of the bullet points for me was Alabama Power, and I said the highest rates, and they got mad at me citing some stat to the comms people who got in touch with me. So we said, well, one of the highest rates, but I should have just quoted Senator Britt, who said we have the highest rates in the Southeast. What do you make of kind of our current, let's say, regulation or current accountability for Alabama Power, in particular with the Public Service Commission?
I'm big on all people being able to vote for the people that represent them. And I think that our grandfathers and those that come before us fought for that right. We fought for rights for all people to be able to vote. Women had to have rights to vote. Every person has been given that right. We don't need to take that away. The Public Service Commission does not need to be appointed. There are lots of good people running on the Public Service Commission right this minute. I think there'll be some very wise choices. But just to be honest, I think that we all know if it was appointed positions, then the pocketbooks would be lined, and those people doing the appointing would tell them what they're going to do and not going to do. Right now, that they're responsible to the people who elect them, and that's the way our system is built. If you don't do a good job or you don't do what's right for the people, then we kick you out and get somebody else.
Yeah, and that's one thing, because I was telling you off air, I really appreciate sort of the breadth and depth of your sense of infrastructure needs and the economy that really makes this state hum. But sometimes I worry about whether it's AI or anything else, we get these big infrastructure pushes and new tech, we must do this, we're in a new race. I worry about the effect on everyday people in a lot of this stuff. So there has to be a way of balancing. Yeah, we need new innovation, we need new investment and improvements. But again, how does it go to the Main Street person at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. And I don't have all those answers because, to be honest with you, blue-collar people that are the backbone of the state of Alabama and the people that work and make the wheels turn each day, AI technology is not really going to, in my opinion, benefit those people a lot. It's great for doing letters. It's great for, stock brokerage things. It's got a lot of different things that it's working that are helpful. And then I'm sure at the same token, it has a lot of things that are, as you brought up, the mark of the beast, are things that we shouldn't be involved in. So, a lot of that has its determination.
Sure. Now, when you look at, say, current United States senators, I guess this is a two-part question. Like, who are you looking forward to working with if you are elected by the people of Alabama, just in general, when you look at the body up there and the other 99? But also, I guess the second part of the question would be, do you think you could be a good team member and be a true delegation that works as a team with Senator Britt?
Absolutely, I do. I feel strongly about that. We have been associated with her team that's in place now. We visited Katie Britt in D.C. and had one of the grandest tours of the Capitol and of the Senate building. We also visited with Coach Tuberville, went to see Mike Rogers, went to see several people while we was there. But I can absolutely work with Katie Britt. She's younger than I am, so I kind of think of her as being like a younger sister. But I don't know of anything that we absolutely would disagree on. I think that we could work together on anything and find absolute common ground. And as far as that goes, all of our congressional delegation across the state of Alabama, I would want to work with each of those people. And I'll take it a step further, even if those people are in different parties. Katie's reached across the line and brought people together to bring the government shutdown back to operation. I think that that's something that we got to do. I think we've got to be able, I didn't say that we was going to bow down to anybody, but we've got to be able to reach out and find common ground with our brothers and sisters, across the state.
Now you going to watch the State of the Union tonight?
Yes, sir. Going to watch it live. Going to be at the Alabama Federation of Republican Women. We're doing some things with them the rest of the week, and we've been invited to their watch party tonight. Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, it should be quite a show, but one thing I'll just tell you if you don't know, since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it's been a multi-year journey for me to turn back to God. But that, in particular, like so many others in the nation, was a bit of a tragic catalyst, but a catalyst nonetheless. And I just find that the importance of faith in people's lives, how it grounds and centers people when we make all these other decisions. So I just, not to pry too much, because it is to a certain degree personal, but what role does your faith play in just how you carry out in your life?
Well, thank you for asking that. I am a Christian. I was saved when I was 13 years old. A lot of people will talk about the Bible or whatever, but I, don't mind taking it a step further and telling people that I was saved and baptized when I was 13. I believe in high moral character. I believe in being the person that, I just want to say it this way, that my grandfathers raised me to be, which was of high moral and ethnical character. That doesn't mean that you don't have a good time, or you might get in a little trouble sometime, or that type of thing. But at the end of the day, my faith plays a lot in it, and I'll say it this way: I believe when you look at me, you should be able to see Christ in me, and not me have to tell you that.
Do you mind telling us what was it at 13 that made you go that direction?
Well, just got a divorce when I was 13, and honestly, I had an encounter where I felt like that I saw God, and people thinks about me saying that, but it was in my bedroom, and then the people to Christ, and so, I've now don't get me wrong, I haven't always been the best person. We've all failed and come short of the glory of God. But at the end of the day, on a bulldozer or wherever I'm at, that I find myself at being peace with the good Lord. And then our middle son asked me to marry him and his wife, and so it was an honor. And at that time, I actually got ordained a few years ago. I've never announced that on the air or anything like that, but I actually got ordained where I could go and marry them.
Awesome. It was great. That's beautiful. Well, and it is sometimes out of the tragic things and like the broken parts of life that, like God already knows before you even ask what you want.
Right.
But sometimes, and it's, especially I am Roman Catholic, but like the scriptures today, I was looking at them, don't pile up word on top of word, empty phrases like the pagans do. So sometimes I think it comes to you, you mentioned, you're a kid, that's happening with your parents, and it's that still small voice. It's like it's sometimes in the quietest moments where this stuff happens.
And so I want to answer that, but then I do want to talk about health, our healthcare system in hospitals,
sure.
Rural hospitals. But to me, you said you're Catholic, and then there's Methodist and Presbyterian and all these religions and different things. But it's almost like we bring it back around to politics. As long as everybody's getting to heaven, that's what really matters. It doesn't matter which path or
how you get there.
That's right.
To see at the gate.
That's right. That's what's important, and that's what I believe. So I've never had any animosity. With my friends that are Church of Christ or Mormon or anything else, because all that matters is that we get to the gate and the gate opens.
There you go.
By the grace. But despite all these debates I watch online, by the grace of God, I think we all agree on that front, despite the denominations. You mentioned real quick that you wanted to talk about the rural hospital situation.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize, and it's a very important. Alabama, we live in a rural county. Hospitals in the state of Alabama, 11 of those are in imminent danger of closing. It's not the hospital. I want to work on revamp. Even Jackson Hospital here in Montgomery, just a couple of weeks, the needles cost the same amount. The doctor doesn't get any discount for going to school if he's going to work at a rural hospital. We've got to save our rural hospitals, because listen, if we're going to have industry out in the county, like yesterday we was at Wellborn Cabinet Company, if there's an accident, they've got to have a place to get a person to the hospital, or all those industries are going to build in bigger metropolitan areas, and we don't need to see that happen.
Well, honestly, it's been a pleasure, breeze, talking to you. Really refreshing. I've talked to a lot of politicians. Eddie knows sometimes I'm very cranky about. I before this cycle, I was like, "Do we even talk to these folks around?" But of course we are. But your presentation, how you present yourself, has been very refreshing.
Breath of fresh air.
And so, if folks
you.
are liking what they're hearing and want to support you again, where can they do that?
You can go to walkerforalabama.com. That would be https .walkerforalabama.com, or just punch in walkerforalabama.com, and it'll take you to our website, and you can learn all about us. You can send us an email. You can send that to info@walkerforalabama.com or Rodney. And my phone number has been on the internet, for 40 years. And people are welcome to call or text me anytime. I do admire that people have a lot of couth, and they, they'll normally text you or whatever. They don't just like call you up and say, "Oh, I want to chew you out about this," or whatever. People are really very cordial.
Good.
And we have a lot of grassroots support, and we're just very thankful for everybody in the state that is supporting us and so forth.
Well, I just say I appreciate you putting yourself out there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like to hear that people are being nice these days.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, especially these days.
Well, I appreciate it, Rodney, and folks, we'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The Harriet 2 Riverboat has the perfect way to start your weekend each Friday with the Spring Dinner Cruise. Enjoy live entertainment as you dine on a delicious family-friendly dinner. Add your favorite beverage from the cash bar and dance the night away cruising the Alabama River. Get your family together and make it a family tradition. Boarding starts at 6:30 and cruise starts at 7. Book your cruise on the Harriet 2 now at funinmontgomery.com.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, "Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River Region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
This is Frank Bertorelli with Zap Pest Control. We're here today to thank Blue Water Broadcasting. We're now over 31 years in business. If you don't believe in radio advertisement, give these guys a chance. You won't be disappointed. Zap Pest Control is still on the move today, thanks to the friendships we have made with Blue Water Broadcasting.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks, helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. Temperatures will start to moderate as the Arctic chill begins to fade. Tonight, generally clear. Overnight low temperature down to about 37. Tomorrow's high near 70 is better with mostly cloudy skies. Risk of showers begins in the overnight hours Wednesday night. Then more showers and thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and especially Thursday night, some of which could be on the strong side. I've got us around 75 for a high Thursday. Not quite as warm Friday. We'll say 68 to 70. And sunshine returning on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CBNS Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CBNS Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here in the studio with me. I like Rodney Walker.
Me too. I really do.
Great first impression.
Really good. Really, really good.
And of course, we're going to continue. I guess the only person we haven't talked to in this race is the Attorney General, Steve Marshall.
Yeah, that's right.
Dr. Berry, Dr. Jared,
Berry.
Dr. Morgan Murphy. I'm not even sure if Morgan's still in the thing, but now so. Dr. Rodney. So if Steve's teams is out there, or Attorney General Marshall's team's out there, we'd love to have you on the program.
I tell you, that's what we do, Joey. This weekend, we go a little bit crazy on the town.
Go a little crazy.
Go a little crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy that Steve Marshall will come sit with us and go, what the hell's wrong with you guys?
I'm remembering the last time he actually sat down with us, I tried to get like a special dispensation to like beat your ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we bring that back up.
No,
we just lead into the interview with that.
Maybe he was kind of winking. He's like, I can't do that for you, Joe.
Right.
Like, that's fair. That's fair. It's a rule of law and things.
Bring it back up.
But that was back in those days where I was starting to slap you like crazy every day. You deserved it.
I don't deny it.
Right, you deserved it.
But I'm just saying that might be how we can get him back into the fold.
I think so. I think we can make it happen. And I think it's anybody's race at this point.
Right now, for sure.
Like, for all that money being thrown in here, the people of Alabama, for all the endorsement. Mary Moore's got the Trump endorsement. Like, there's something about the people of Alabama, especially in something like a Senate race, like, no, we'll make our own decision. Thank you very much.
Do not tell us who you want us to vote for, because that person will not win. That's Alabama.
Right. Well, tell us without telling us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You can influence us, but don't tell us.
Right.
Don't tell us you're telling us.
Right. You can paint your face on every billboard in the state, but just make it nice.
That's right.
Like, don't be telling us that we have to do
that way it looks organic. It's grassroots.
Yeah, there you go. Something along those lines. Now, let's go to, Caroline Levitt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she is going to address this thing going on south of the border. How would you like to be in Mexico right now?
Dude.
It is a crazy thing.
It's crazy, but we have those conversations a lot because there's cheap vacations. You know, I'm all about a cheap vacation. So we talk about going to Mexico all the time. This is why we're not there. This is exactly why. Even my friends that live in Mexico warn me about this all the time.
That this sort of stuff just breaks out every once in a while.
It just happens.
Now, I'll admit I have not done the deep dive on what El Mencho or Mencho.
Yeah, fentanyl guy.
El Mencho.
Yeah,
fentanyl guy.
But it was all this was over a woman.
It was all over a woman.
He got busted because he was trying to have a rendezvous
with a lady.
Yep, that's how the whole thing went down.
Really?
Yep.
So they killed him when he went to the rendezvous.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a way to off somebody.
Yep. But
talk about going from zero to...
No, to me, that's the easiest, most obvious thing. If I ever want to go with... if I ever want to get to someone and you can't get to them, next best thing is their family. Mm-hmm. You follow them. They'll lead. The connection's always there.
Yeah, but still, you're ready to go from 6 to midnight, and then all of a sudden you're dead.
Pow.
And then it just broke into mayhem.
Yeah.
Like just
75 guardsmen injured or killed down there. And I mean, imagine being at the resort, Joey, and there's some dude burning down the beach with a machine gun.
Yeah.
You're like, is it part of the resort?
So with all that mayhem going on, here's what Caroline Levitt had to say.
Secretary Rubio and the State Department are absolutely on it. We hear from Americans directly who are in Mexico because the State Department immediately set up 24/7 phone.
For those who aren't watching the stream online, I noticed this morning. Look at that angelic glow.
That's a cutout.
No, actually, I don't think it is.
Joey, that cannot.
I don't think it is.
If not, you're right. It's a very angelic glow.
I think it's the sun is hitting her perfectly.
On her beautiful blonde hair, so perfect that it's putting out like a halo around her.
Yeah, no, for a second I thought that this is like an AI background or something. Green screen in it. No, I think it's a real background.
Wow.
And she is looking just, maybe it's the pregnancy.
I was going to say, is that pregnancy glow? Is that what that is? I've heard of it. I've seen it. Not quite this shiny before, but wow.
Anyway, she's going to keep going on.
Phone lines, and they're taking hundreds of calls a day, providing Americans on the ground with travel support and advice. The State Department also has issued new travel advisories, and they'll continue to update those as the situation progresses. So we encourage all Americans in Mexico to, of course, adhere to the guidance provided by the State Department. Right now, we are unaware of any reports of any Americans being hurt, kidnapped, or killed, and the Mexican drug cartels know not to lay a finger on a single American, or they will pay severe consequences under this president. And they already are. This operation, which was carried out successfully by the Mexican authorities, was, of course, supported by the United States, would not have happened without the leadership of President Trump. He has made it a day one priority to target and go after these vicious drug cartels that have shipped deadly poison to our country for far too long. He signed an executive order to rightfully designate them as foreign terrorist organizations. We've seen the president take unilateral lethal action against drug boats sailing through the Caribbean. And now, of course, we are coordinating and cooperating and pushing the Mexican government to do more to end the scourge of deadly drugs coming through our United States southern border, which, of course, is now secure thanks to President Trump as well.
I like her.
Me too. I get the glow.
Yeah, but beyond that, I like that message too. Do not touch a hair on the head of any single American.
I hope they're listening.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's the problem is like how tight-knit are these like hierarchies of these organizations, or is it more
I think
like
it's kill or be killed in all those
I think, isn't it more like like you have your top guys, but it's more cell based, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Like you have your different kind of just turf areas, and people climb from to the top, and it's a very messy process. Always has been a very messy,
not voting,
like,
that's
bloody
for sure.
process, in a lot of ways, and including like President Scheinbaum of Mexico. Like you got to be like, what is that? Like, how many of her opponents were assassinated?
All of them.
And I have to say this is why Trump goes for Venezuela and they're doing the Cuba thing, like, and trying to get Colombia and all these other lesser, let's say, powers in Latin America under control.
Clean them up a little bit, man.
Because Mexico, I always think back to, like, you can think what you want of these two gentlemen, but it was a great conversation. Vivek Ramaswamy had Attorney General Bill Barr, on, and he was asking Bill Barr, like, why haven't we gone after cartels? And Barr laid out, well, here's, number one, you need kind of cooperation from your local government.
You're going to have that.
And by the time you get that cooperation, you ramp up, are you at a midterm? Are you at a presidential election? So the operation, they think,
falls dead every time.
Right. And then it ends up being like you're dealing with a literal narco state.
Yep.
That is not, the people in charge aren't fully in
They're
charge.
not in charge. We have to know that, certainly. And we have to know who's
we do
also
know
in
that,
charge.
but that's the issue. Is like it is a very complicated web of different interests that are actually running that place. So perhaps what you do is it's like a python. You slowly start to squeeze the rest of Latin America to where you're now focusing on Mexico, and maybe you've cut off certain funding networks, certain drug flows, certain other human trafficking flows.
Definitely done that.
And you more size up the problem in Mexico and kind of put them on notice. And if you do get cooperation from the Mexican military and the United States starts sending in, tier 1 operators and all sorts of people, especially with our new technology, like the Venezuela raid was crazy. Maybe you can crack that nut. I don't know, though. I don't know. In some ways, I almost think like bombing Iran again is easier than a full-on fight with Mexico. And, actually to Roddy Walker's point, I think the focus for most Americans is not what's happening in Mexico or Iran. Or even Ukraine. It's more like, why does beef cost so much? And, like...
It's the truth. And I'm glad, actually, he brought that up earlier. It's not your farmers. Your farmers are not getting rich, by no means.
So I guess it's at the process.
I
could have followed up with him, but I'd imagine it's the processing level.
Your middleman.
You only have a few. Well, and then after the processing, I'm sure you have, I don't know if it's like oil with a jobber, but I'd imagine you have people getting it to the stores and these sorts of things.
Yep.
Yeah, it's astounding. Like, I love a good ribeye steak. And especially if you want to go all out, get the fattened calf going, like prime grade.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still like $40 for a big old, like a 1 pound ribeye. That's crazy. Now that's
high, but when
that's not too crazy if you split that between two people, but still, it's so much money for one nice steak.
Break it down even further. What's minimum wage nowadays? I'm not being funny. Is it $8 an hour, $9 an hour?
I don't even know. I think it's still 7 something.
Okay,
here in
$7
Alabama.
an hour, even better. So you go to McDonald's or any place for an average lunch, you're going to spend more than an hour's wage. You're going to spend more than an hour's wage. For lunch.
Easily. But don't you kids go splurging on rotisserie chicken. Like that headline from the other day. I'm like,
stupid.
Come on, man.
See, it's inexpensive, actually good for you.
Yeah, come on, man. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just asinine.
So I guess I'm kind of half excited for this theatrical performance that we're going to see tonight. Trump's promising tearjerker moment.
Yeah, I heard.
He's promising glorious moments of our, celebrating America's champions for 250 years.
Right.
The U.S. hockey team, a men's team at least, will be there. That'll be a great moment.
I still don't understand the women's thing. What?
Well, they had scheduling conflicts, Eddie.
It's hockey. Hockey chicks don't wash their hair and stuff like that. And hockey chicks generally don't get that politically involved.
You would judge me if I started dating like a devout Catholic hockey chick?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be judging in a bad way, but yeah.
Joey, why do you have a black eye?
Nothing. Interesting weekend again, huh, Joey?
I ran into the door jam.
Damn, door jam got me again, man.
I tripped and fell on the stoop, hit the brick. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway.
Maybe a rugby chick, I'd be worried about you.
Now, we started the show talking about the spirit of the age does seem to be that of the accuser and the scatterer.
Yeah.
And social media erupted after Stephen King makes false claim about Trump's family.
I saw the headline for that.
Yeah. Horror author Stephen King is facing backlash online today for a post tearing into President Trump's personal life, including a line claiming that Trump has no children. Trump has never had a child. He's been married 3 times, ran several businesses into the ground, never ran a home, couldn't make a bed to save his, I think, ass. Calls people he works with dumb, losers, etc. Has never done sweat labor, has never served on a local committee, King said in an ex-post. He has no life experience. To which one person said, Trump literally has 5 kids. What is this crap?
Yeah.
And also, there are great stories from Trump's sons, like, Eric and Don Jr. and all this stuff, that when they were young, like just teenagers, like 13, 14 years old, is like, well, if you want the money, you need to go work that contracting job. Go work with this sub, go work with that sub, and you need to understand everything that goes into building a building, for instance.
Yep. You got to act like you want it.
You need to go work in every office in this business on the corporate side of things, on the management side of things. Like, you have to actually get out there and work. And as far as I know, that's actually some of the secret sauce of what Trump does and has done over the years. He does respect your contractor and your subcontractor.
You see how he treats people like that.
Yeah.
Look how he treats a doorman. Look how he treats an elevator operator.
Yeah, and I know Stephen King's a fiction novelist, a fiction writer, but you can't just, I guess you can, but it's just obnoxious. Yeah. Like, he has no children? What are you even suggesting there? Somebody asked, is there a 25th Amendment for taking people's phones away? Yeah, let's do that. Wow.
That's how
and it's stuff like that where you're like, yeah. Well, and also some of these luminaries, like a guy who wrote disturbing fiction.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, as he's getting older, he's not right in the head. Who would have thunk it? You make up all sorts of crazy horror stories and you get famous for it for 20, 30, 40 years. And then, maybe your mind isn't all there and that you might be a little disturbed yourself.
Or maybe you just kind of grew out of that phase of thinking in your life. Things change in your life where you don't think that way necessarily anymore.
Yeah, I think actually Stephen King's greatest horror novel will be his autobiography.
Oh, no doubt. I used to think that when I was younger. I thought, why isn't this free? Why does the government give me this? Why do I paying for this? Now, there's still many questions of why I'm paying for things, but after going to work for the last 20 plus years, I learned there's no such thing as a chicken sandwich. There's no free thing. If you're getting it for free, you're getting screwed.
Wait, that's the line? There's no such thing as a chicken sandwich?
Yeah. Chicken sandwich, free sandwich. No such thing.
Oh, I've been learning all sorts of country fried
You're not going
stuff.
to, you can fall for it, but you're going to pay for that sandwich. And when you're working and you're reading the headlines about, or this is my favorite, literally being on the beach in Jamaica. Asks the guy, hey, man, what do you do for a living? I'll do nothing. Like, yeah, and you get to know their story. They're just welfare recipients. They have been for the last 15 years. They will be for the rest of their life. But somehow they're on the same damn beach you are in Jamaica. That gets your feelings hurt.
Not fair.
Is it not? I mean, hey, they take advantage of the system. Fair. I could take advantage of the system, but I can't. I could not do that.
Now, before we hit this final break, I just saw that somebody here in Montgomery, another person, we read Catherine Robertson yesterday. And you remember a fella named Barrett Gilbreth?
Oh, yes,
yeah. He ran from here. And
yeah,
stuff.
man, I remember that guy. Great guy.
Well, he has a headline out. Let's read this real quick. I think I can get it done with, we got enough time.
All right.
It's not racist to want more police in Montgomery, writes Barrett Gilbreth.
I kind of agree with that.
That's racist! That's the first line of the piece. And racist is in all caps. That's racist! It's been a while since I've done that voice. Racist! Seems fashionable these days to cry racism anytime someone proposes a logical solution to the problems plaguing Montgomery, writes Barrett Gilbreth. Such is the case with SB 298, or I'd like to call it 298, which enables the state to intervene if a city like Montgomery is not meeting minimum law enforcement staffing requirements. Yet to suggest SB 298 is simply an attempt to take power away from a black mayor is laughable. Montgomery has been on a downward trajectory: population, property values, locally domiciled corporations, jobs, schools, number of police officers, etc., since the 1990s, declining under the last several administrations. Criticizing the current administration and laying some of the blame for the continued decline at its feet is no more racist than citing the same for the administrations of the last 20 years. Of all the things declining in Montgomery, crime seems to have found a way to buck, with a B, the trend. Perhaps there's a logical reason for that, writes Barrett Gilbreth. Perhaps the declining number of police officers has something to do with it. Montgomery needs more police officers, says Barrett. Raise your hand if you think Montgomery has enough officers patrolling the city. I won't hold my breath. Not you, City Hall. We know where you stand. SB 298 aims to fix a problem literally everyone sees. What is wrong with having 2 officers per 1,000 residents, as this bill proposes? What is wrong with allowing Class 3 municipalities a grace period to make incremental improvements to their law enforcement staffing, asked Barrett Gilbreth. Are your feelings hurt because the state wants to help supplement your police force if you can't make these small improvements over time? Perhaps it's time we acknowledge the problem and do something about it rather than avoid any sort of intervention. Or what if people go ahead and fight the bill, making sure it dies in the Senate, paving the way for the National Guard to be deployed in Montgomery after a new governor is elected in November? Does that sound better? Of course not. But we don't have the money. As my grandmother used to say, that's horse hockey. I don't know if she sounded like that. Sorry, Barrett.
Yeah.
For the last several years, writes Barrett Gilbreth, Montgomery has consistently budgeted for around 400 officers. Based on the 2020 census used in SB 298, population of 200,000, just a little over 200,000, the requisite number of officers for Montgomery would be 402. So the budget is in the right place. Now it seems the actual number of police officers in Montgomery is as protected as the nuclear codes because no one will ever give a straight answer. Amen, Barrett. That said, my guess is that the number of officers in Montgomery today is around 235, and that's probably being generous. Quick math says we are 165 shy of what our budget covers. And then there's the issue of unspent funds going into discretionary funding and who gets a say over how it's spent. What if that budgeted money was actually used on law enforcement? Based on the text of the bill and the current officer shortage in Montgomery, the city would need to hire a minimum of 17 net new officers in year 1 of the grace period to avoid a potential intervention by ALEA. That's a 10% improvement on the 165 officer deficit, rounding up, of course. Given the current staffing levels, however, Montgomery needs to make more than the minimum increases over the next 5 years to be in compliance. These incremental increases, ideally around 35 officers each year for the next 5 years, would continue until the department is fully staffed per the ratio in the bill. For folks who say that's impossible, consider that Birmingham has hired approximately 200 officers since January 2025. But let's not focus on the practicality of the situation. Let's continue to play the victim. Again, reading from Barrett Gilbreth's pen over at 1819 News. He writes, the enforcement of the bill is equally as straightforward. If for whatever reason Montgomery can't make the necessary incremental improvements each year, the bill states ALEA, quote, may assume operational oversight, end quote, of the department. If ALEA chooses this path, the unspent budgeted money is there to cover whatever assistance ALEA provides. Now, the bill does not currently require the Class 3 municipalities to budget for the requisite number of officers, but it's a pretty good start that Montgomery has historically done so. The good news is that it seems Montgomery can make the incremental staffing improvements required by the bill. Yeah. The bad news, says Barrett Gilbreth, is that it doesn't seem like the administration wants to make these improvements. The other good news is that the state is willing to step in and help. The other bad news is that the administration doesn't want the help. Montgomery has a lot of problems, but also many positives. While I didn't grow up in Montgomery, I attended high school here. We are JD, and Montgomery is now my home. Montgomery is not unique in the problems we face. Montgomery is unique in our inability to solve them. Law enforcement staffing isn't an unsolvable problem, and while an increase in all police officers is not the only solution to our problems, I have yet to meet someone who thinks adding police officers to our streets is a bad idea. Whether or not SB 298, as I say, passes it, Montgomery needs help. What help looks like and how it ultimately arrives is a matter of opinion. It's also fair, albeit another opinion, to say Montgomery needs new leadership. That opinion, however, is not racist. That's a fact. That's from Barry Gilbreth, folks.
Pretty good.
Appreciate you throwing that out there.
Definitely.
Appreciate 1819 publishing it. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Pizza and wings. Nothing goes better with watching basketball than with something to fill up the family from Pizza Perfect. Buy any large pizza and get 10 boneless wings for free. Absolutely free. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet that includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza and wings from Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This is part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings. And again, folks, Dylan Rings is a full-service jewelry shop. Get by there and let the true artist and a bit of a scientist, the man himself, Josh Ryder, make you something custom. He can fix things, of course. He can do that great repair work. He can do the spa treatments where it makes that jewelry you wear all the time shine and shimmer like it's brand new again. But he can make pieces that are going to be truly unique heirlooms for years and years to come, probably last longer than you.
Yes. Say I have a dream in the middle of the night, Joey, and I was like, this is the piece of jewelry I'd like to present to my fiancée. I could go to Dylan's Rings, talk to him, give him my idea. He can sketch that out. We could work on this together and give my fiancée a beautiful
you could
ring.
get the ring even before you get the lady.
Not a bad idea.
Just kind of have it in your back pocket.
Not a bad idea.
Get by there, gentlemen. And ladies, you can get by there too. Great inventory. They really can help you in any way that you might consider when it comes to jewelry, from repairs, spa treatments, appraisals for pieces that you haven't had appraised in a while. Check them out today. That's 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey Nettie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Let's go to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
What's happening, Ray?
You know, hey, I just had another great idea.
What you got?
Y'all can call me at 2:30 and give me 30 minutes. You know how much trouble I could get in?
Anytime you like, heck, you can come in the studio and have all 3 hours.
I've been waiting for you to show up in the studio.
Yeah, they might kick me out of Prattville.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah, it would be. We could always blame it on your twin brother.
Yeah, I was just saying I could tell stories about when Ron was on the police department.
That's
and what I
right.
used to get away with that you can't do anymore because of these stupid cameras.
Yeah,
It would be no fun being a police officer today. Well, I'll tell you what else could be fun.
What's
Let's
that?
say you have an old, grungy bathroom, and you're like, oh, I really need an update. I don't want to fool with it. I don't know what to do. I don't know plumbers and electricians and painters and glass people and tile guys. All you got to do is call Private Carpet. We've got it all.
One-stop shopping.
We'll go in here and one-stop shopping all the way around. The countertops, the plumbers, you name it, we got it when it comes to a bathroom remodel. And we're quick. We're not talking, hey, we're going to be in here for months on end. We try to get in and out in about 2.5 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Like hearing that.
But it starts with a phone call, 285-8117.
Give folks that number for Prattville Carpets, 285-8117. And when you call them up at 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey Nettie and that you want them to do a full hour with us.
Full hour.
Tell all the secrets of Prattville.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, y'all probably get kicked off the air. You know, they pull your license.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah. So far, where's the downside?
It would be bad, Joey. It would be really bad. And then
Never know till we try.
And Angie would be like, my phone's blown up. Did you really say that on the radio? I'm like, you know I did.
That's right.
Yeah, that filter, I lost that thing years ago. I never did find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, well, hey, y'all have a great day.
You too, Ray. See you, brother.
We learn anything today?
That folks of north of the border, up there in Canada, we beat them at their own sport.
What a bunch of pathetic losers.
Losers. The one thing you have.
Did you see the clip of them being handed stuffed
Oh,
animals?
I loved it. The stuffed animals? Okay, that is the worst tradition, but I think they should continue that from here on out.
I kind of felt bad for him, even though I was like loving it too.
Yes.
Shouted front.
Every loser should get a stuffed animal, and it should present it to them on TV.
Especially those manly men, like hockey players, okay.
They just lost the
We're
World
the
Cup.
Stupid squid thing.
Everything to them was just lost 2 minutes ago, and you're giving them a stuffed animal.
We learned Rodney Walker's a pretty good guy.
Yes.
Good candidate for
Really
the
like
United
him.
States Senate.
Really like him.
And we learned that I guess folks are going to be watching the State of the Union tonight.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I don't know.
Anyway. Anyway, we've got to get out of here. Happy hour with Greg Budell. And Pamela, she's back.
She's back, baby.
They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Expect President Trump to play up all the benefits his policies have brought to the U.S. economy. As he gives his State of the Union address tonight, he's expected to look back on what he considers to be his main accomplishments